emotional ups and downs and scheduling stops and starts, the LSU Tigers arrive in Nashville tonight to take on Vanderbilt. It's the end of what Coach Les Miles calls the first normal week of the season.
Here we go.
For the LSU Tigers, a nightmare that will not end delayed a football season that felt as if it would never begin. The Tigers finally took the field in Tempe for a memorable opener against Arizona State.
Looks to throw. He's going to throw it all. It's going to be... Touchdown!
They gave the state of Louisiana something to cheer about. But the celebration did not last long. A second hurricane delayed the SEC opener against Tennessee for 2 days. Then LSU blew a 21-point lead.
Volunteers win this game in overtime.
After 22 straight losing seasons, Vanderbilt started this year 4-0. But Middle Tennessee State brought the Commodores back to reality last week, blocking a would-be game-winning field goal to hand Vandy its first loss. Two SEC teams riding emotional roller coasters square off tonight in Nashville. It's a new day in Nashville where the Commodores hope they are no longer anchored to the basement of the Southeastern Conference. Led by star quarterback Jay Cutler, Vandy is off to its best start in 21 years. ESPN2 college football primetime. Tonight, LSU makes its first trip to Nashville. Since 1997, the 11th ranked Tigers take on resurgent Vanderbilt in spectacular high definition. Brought to you by Phillips. Good evening, everybody, and welcome. I'm Sean McDonough along with Mike Gottfried. Delighted to have you with us. Vanderbilt 2-0 in SEC play for the first time since 1956. Dwight Eisenhower was president back then. And Mike, everybody liked Ike, and everybody here in Nashville likes Jay Cutler.
Jay Cutler is an exceptional quarterback. He can will his team to win the football game. He's an excellent pocket presence, throws the ball very accurate, has a strong arm. And Sean, here's what he can do. He can run the football. He runs the option. He can hurt the defense.
He's the leading passer in the SEC. Tonight he'll go up against a ferocious pass rush of LSU. They're coming off 7 sacks in their win last weekend at Mississippi State with perhaps the best defensive tackles in the country.
Therein lies the key to this game because the defensive line of LSU is so good. Kyle Williams, Claude Roden, 2 defensive tackles who may be among the best in the country on one football team. They'll be after Jay Cutler. They'll try to hit him early in the football game to wear him down in the fourth quarter.
Tremendous excitement here in Nashville. Renewed enthusiasm for this Vanderbilt football program and plenty of LSU fans to cheer on the Tigers as well. We'll have the opening kickoff from the Music City right after this.
I'm worried about leaving my family alone when I travel. What if something happened? That's why I got ADT.
I came home one night and found a burglar in my house. And we live in a nice neighborhood. That's why I got ADT.
And now you can get the peace of mind that comes from America's #1 security company. Call now and save $100 off the regular price when you buy ADT's family package. Why worry when you have the security of ADT? ADT, always there.
Here's a fun fact. Erected in 1963, the walnut stands 15 feet high.
I'll be in the car.
Go where you want with Drive Free at Avis.
Orca, Orca. Oh, I love Orca.
I thought you loved the humpback.
I recently changed my mind.
But I thought we established that the Orca was mine. Now rent 3 times and get a free weekend on us. Find our lowest prices at avis.com.
ESPN2's College Football Primetime. Brought to you by ADT Security Services. Go to ESPN.com, keyword ADT, to enter the All-Defensive Team Challenge.
They've waited a long time here on the Vanderbilt campus for a start to a football season like this. 4-1 for the first time since 1984. With 2 more wins, they'll go to a bowl game for the first time since 1982 when they played in the Hall of Fame Bowl. That was their last winning season. And as we mentioned at the outset of the telecast, 2-0 in conference play for the first time since 1956. Bobby Johnson, their head coach now, was 4 years old back then. And a moment ago, he visited with Alex Flanagan.
Coach, describe how the 4-1 start has changed the atmosphere for you here at Vanderbilt.
Well, our fans have been fantastic the whole time we've been here, but now we've given them something to cheer about, and they've responded. They really helped our team, and we're going to have a great atmosphere here tonight, and I hope we can play well for our fans.
Jay Cutler, your quarterback, is the #1 passer in the SEC. What does he need to have continued success tonight?
We got to have protection. He's got to be able to be comfortable in the pocket, throw the ball. We're going to try to get it out quickly and see if we can get some short passes and sort of soften them up a little bit. But if we don't have protection, it could be a long night.
All right, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you.
.61 degrees as we approach kickoff. Vanderbilt won the toss and deferred, so LSU will receive. One of the most dangerous return men in the country back deep. Skylar Green, number 5. Back for LSU along with Joseph Adai and the freshman Bryant Honfeld, who handles all of their placements, kickoffs, and punting. Will boot it away. He's from right here in Nashville. Went to Montgomery Bell Academy right down the street. Good boot. About midway into the end zone, and Skylar Green elects to take a knee to the relief of the Vanderbilt coaches. Green, one of their big concerns tonight, as is this man, the quarterback, Jamarcus Russell, with a strong arm and very accurate this year at 63%, never more so than last week against Mississippi State. He was 21 out of 24 passing in their 37-7 win over the Bulldogs.
Sean, he's getting better every week.
LSU off to a 2-1 start. A win at Arizona State, the loss to Tennessee, and the big win last week in Starkville. And Russell, accurate with his first pass tonight to Dwayne Bowe. Part of a deep stable of wide receivers for LSU. A gain of 17 on the first play from scrimmage. The Bud Light backs and receivers. Adai averaging 93 yards rushing per game. With Jones, the tight end, Green and Davis among many we'll see it wide out. And a veteran offensive line led by Andrew Whitworth, the left tackle, making his 43rd consecutive start. Niswonger, an academic All-American with a perfect 4.0 GPA at center. And the handoff to Joseph Adai, trying to turn the corner, and he gets ridden down after a gain of a yard or two by Kevin Joyce, leading the fired-up Commodore defense. They've been bend but do not break as a philosophy this year. For the front four of Harrison Brown, who's returning from a foot injury, Horrocks and Booker. Their best player on the defense is Moses Asabegi, who is the all-time leading tackler among active players in the SEC. Pace, a converted safety, Langford, Ohanija, and Allen, the secondary. Play action pass for Russell on second down, and another bullet to Bowe. He breaks some tackles and is finally taken down by Jonathan Goff, the linebacker, after a gain to the 31-yard line. 30 yards on the pass play. And big chunks in the pass game right away for Jamarcus Russell.
Well, that's what Bobby Johnson was worried about, the big playability of Jamarcus Russell and these receivers. Wayne Bowe makes a good catch and turns a 10-yard gain into 20.
LSU's been given a sideline warning. Les Miles very relieved that they finally had a week that resembled a typical week for a college football team. They started practicing On the 5th of August, waited 35 days to play their first game. The opener against North Texas was postponed. Then the game against Arizona State was moved from Baton Rouge to Tempe. Miles in his first year at LSU after 4 at Oklahoma State. Adai breaks another tackle and is tackled by Ralph McKenzie. Curtis Gatewood had a shot at Adai behind the line of scrimmage, but couldn't get him down. You mentioned the practice in early August. Finally, they were able to play in Tempe and had the dramatic win with 28 fourth quarter points. Then blew the 21-0 lead against Tennessee in the second half. That was on a Monday night. That game had to be moved 2 days because of Hurricane Rita. So on a short week, they managed to handle Mississippi State with ease after falling behind 7-0. LSU scored 37 unanswered points. 2nd and 9, and the pass incomplete through the hands of the tight end David Jones.
What you talked about there, Sean, it takes a lot of concentration and focus by the coaching staff to keep these players. With all that's going on in Baton Rouge, they have done a fine job.
This crowd hasn't had much to cheer about in recent years. They've been notorious for arriving late. A lot of them arriving late tonight, but those who are here on time making a lot of noise for this Vandy defense. Trying to bend but not break again. Russell going deep, has him in. Touchdown, Dwayne Bowe.
Dwayne Bowe, number 80, is going to run a post route down the middle. Too much cushion by Josh Allen. They were in man coverage. You got to be a lot tighter in man coverage. But the speed of Dwayne Bowe, he just left Josh Allen.
Third touchdown reception of the year for Bowe. Brian Miller, offensive lineman, injured on the play back near the 40-yard line. Bowe had those other 2 touchdown receptions last week. Had 2 catches last week against Mississippi State, both for touchdowns, a 44-yarder and a 14-yarder, and now a 30-yard strike from Russell tonight. 6 plays to go the 80 yards in just 2 minutes and 33 seconds. 12:27 the official time left in the first quarter.
And threw the ball well. That's what we're talking about. Jamarcus Russell, he has to prove he can go back-to-back games. Caught him in a blitz, man coverage, and Dwayne Bowe just ran by Josh Allen. And the injury, Sean, is important because Ryan Miller is the backup center. Rudy Niswander, the starting center, has a high ankle sprain, so they could be down to their 3rd center.
And as they tend to Ryan Miller, we'll take a break. The extra point upcoming when we come back.
How'd you learn to pour like that?
It was nothing.
Put on side, no good. Put on center, the release combination and aroma. Again! 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 Pour down center.
Introducing the Total Value Promise.
From the award-winning quality of Buick. I promise.
I promise to stand behind your Buick.
With our 4-year, 50,000-mile new vehicle warranty.
And the serenity of a quiet-tuned interior.
I promise. I promise you the security of OnStar, a new 2006 Buick model. It's our Buick Total Value Promise to you.
The 2006 LaCrosse CX. Under $22,600 after all applicable offers. See your Buick dealer today.
This Sonic Blast with Oreo cookies is really good.
It has been so long since I've had an Oreo.
Oh, please. I know about your little secret. You take your little cookies and you hide them in different places around the house.
I don't know what you're talking about.
In the coffee can, under the couch, behind the fern.
Okay, stop right there. You be careful, little man. You have no idea how deep this thing goes.
Sonic Blast made with Oreo cookies. The taste of America's favorite Oreo cookies, blended into a creamy Sonic Blast. And now swipe your card from your car, only at Sonic.
Good boy. Get the Bulldog of Shredders. Protects more homes and businesses worldwide. Fellows, the world's toughest shredders. Enter for your chance to be ESPN's guest at 3 major sporting events. Look for the Fellows display at Office Depot.
Wayne Bowe's been slowed by an ankle injury this year, but not tonight. And after Ryan Miller, the center, was helped off from an apparent leg injury, Colt David ready to try the extra point. Now to the hold of Matt Flynn. And LSU leads 7-0. And they're working, it appears, on the right knee of Ryan Miller, the redshirt freshman from Lake Charles, Louisiana. Teammate in high school of Justin Vincent, now his teammate here at LSU. Vincent, part of a deep running back group for the Tigers. There's Miller getting shoved backwards by the defensive line of Vanderbilt by Lamar Divins.
Looked like he turned his knee.
So Chris Jackson will kick off. He's also the punter. He's a third baseman on the LSU baseball team. Kaysen Jackson Garrison back deep for Vanderbilt. Jackson, in addition to kicking off, attempts the long field goals, and he'll punt. We have 2 kickers on these 2 teams who are very busy. Hanfeld for Vanderbilt does all of their placements and punting and kicking off, and Jackson does a lot of that work as well.
Saved you a spot on the travel squad.
Line drive kickoff. Run back by Jackson Garrison to the 23-yard line, a 21-yard return. Here comes Jay Cutler, 5th-year senior from Santa Claus, Indiana, in southern Indiana. 4-year starter, making his 40th career start tonight. And as you saw at the top of the telecast, he's thrown for at least 240 yards in every game this year, averaging 272 to lead the SEC. He's completed at least 23 passes in each of their first 5 games, averaging 41 attempts per game. That's almost twice as many as a year ago, and they come out throwing to Eric Davis. He's the leading active receiver in the SEC. That's career catch number 114, good for a 7-yard gain. Cameron Vaughn took him out of bounds, and now the Bud Light starting lineup on offense for Vanderbilt. Jennings will alternate with Jackson Garrison at the tailback position. Dunning, an excellent receiving tight end. And the best of the offensive line lately has been the Louisiana native Chris Williams, a big guard at 317 pounds. Stamper, a veteran, at right tackle. On second down, it's Jeff Jennings, driven back by Ali Highsmith, their leading tackler on defense for the season for LSU, and he wasn't even a starter in their opener against Arizona State. The great front four, they have 12.5 sacks as a team, 11.5 of them from Oliver Roden, Williams, and Pittman. and their backup. The line responsible for all but one sack this year, Hollis, Vaughn, and Highsmith. New corners this year with Prude and Jackson. Landry, their leading tackler the last 2 years, and Daniels are the safeties. 3rd down and 2 from the 31. Cutler out of the gun. They blitz him and get right in his face, and he throws in a hurry short of Marlon White.
Brought Jesse Daniels on a blitz to get to Jay Cutler. Got right in his face. Jay Cutler did not set his feet. Couldn't get anything on the football.
So the freshman Bryant Honfeld on the punt. And Skylar Green, who returned a punt for a touchdown last year against Vandy in Baton Rouge, back deep to receive it. Coach Johnson said they would try to kick it away from him. That was a good kick by Honfeld and well covered. Earl Bennett, freshman wide receiver, first man down there after a 48-yard punt and just a 4-yard return. LSU back on the attack with a 7-point lead after this.
Introducing the Total Value Promise.
From the award-winning quality of Buick, I promise.
I promise to stand behind your Buick.
With our 4-year, 50,000-mile new vehicle warranty.
And the serenity of a quiet-tuned interior.
I promise you the security of OnStar, a new 2006 Buick model. It's our Buick Total Value Promise to you.
The 2006 LaCrosse CX. Under $22,600 after all applicable offers. See your Buick dealer today.
And I would do anything for love. Oh, I would do anything for love. I would do anything for love. But I won't do that. No, I won't do that. I would do anything for love. Anything you
Fall in love with the rich, bold flavor, Dr. Pepper. One taste, and you get it.
All their moves under your control. NBA Live 2006. Rated for EA Sports. It's in the game.
Penny pinchers, get ready to pinch yourselves. Only Wendy's gives you 5 all-white meat crispy chicken nuggets for just 99 cents every day. All white meat, not some unidentified frying object. Do Wendy's, and for just 99 cents, do what tastes right.
Here's me when my sinuses act up. Pain, pressure, meat, sinus boy. I need Dayquil Sinus, the daytime non-drowsy sinus relief. Ah, that's better. Dayquil Sinus, my hero.
ESPN2's College Football Primetime. Brought to you by the 2006 Buick Total Value Promise. It's not a promotion, it's a promise. And Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper, one taste and you get it.
Welcome back to Music City. Sean McDonough, Mike Gottfried, Alex Flanagan. LSU impressive on its opening drive. Went 80 yards in just 6 plays. They have a 7-0 lead. They start this time from their own 25. Justin Vincent in a running back now. He breaks tackles and is ahead for 4. Ray Brown finally got him on the ground. Here's Matt Weiner.
Sean, they just wrapped up on Rocky Top for the first time in program history. Georgia has beaten Tennessee in Knoxville 3 straight times. Relatively close game broke open on a Thomas Flowers punt return. Bulldogs win it by 13, 27-14.
Well, I remember a week ago when we were at Auburn, you and I did our picks.
Right.
For the SEC. I had Georgia winning the SEC. I feel even better about my pick now.
I had Tennessee, and the season's not over, but it doesn't look good.
No, not with 2 losses in conference. Vincent again about a yard short of a first down. Here's Alex.
sprained knee. Let me start that again, Sean. I think my mic was off. Ryan Miller, LSU's starting center, is out with a sprained knee. He's going to be out for the rest of the game. He's usually the backup. The starting center, the usual starting center, Rudy Neiswinger, is suffering from a high ankle sprain. He is playing, as you can see, but he is not 100% tonight, Sean.
But forced to go with Miller out of there. Third down, a long yard. With a dive back in at tailback now. And 2 tight ends in the game for LSU. A dive, and now he's bounced to the outside. And he lost the football out of bounds at the 45-yard line. Boy, the tackling's been very poor on defense so far. Credit Richard Langford with that stop, but not until there was a gain of 11.
The poor tackling. Joseph Adai breaks into the secondary. He's had some fumble problems. Usually never fumbles the football. He fumbled against Arizona State and Tennessee.
The coaches have been talking to him about that. Averaging 93 yards per game, and that's very good when you consider he's dividing time with Vincent and Chiron Carey in the backfield. Here's Bo again. Boy, they're playing way off him, and he is capitalizing. Josh Allen made the tackle. 16 yards on the gain on the completion to Bo. 4 catches and a touchdown, and already 93 yards receiving for Dwayne Bowe.
Well, Jamarcus Russell with an easy throw out to Dwayne Bowe. You're right, Sean. Josh Allen, the redshirt freshman corner, is so far off Bowe. He respects his speed, but he's got to get a little closer.
Receivers talk about how hard Russell throws the ball. He is throwing bullets tonight. They hand it off to Skylar Green. He carries to the 31. Kelechi Ohanaja made the tackle, starting safety. Green can do it all. Run the football. He's their leading receiver entering tonight's game, and perhaps the best return man in the country.
I asked him about that on the telephone the other day. I said, people are talking about you in the same comparison to Reggie Bush, and he said, no, the punter tackles me too many times. I'm not, you know, he's humble and he's honest, but he's a great player.
Vincent bounces to the outside, and a flag thrown in late near where he was tackled after an 11-yard run. Josh Allen made another tackle, the secondary making most of the tackles, and that is rarely a good thing when you're on defense. It's a hold. Jeff Roberson leading this SEC officiating crew.
What happens when you play against Vanderbilt? Everybody comes in.
Holding on the offense, number 9. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Second down.
Everybody comes in with the idea they have better athletes than Vanderbilt. They're going to run the football. LSU tonight started out with Jamarcus Russell throwing the football, which will open up the run.
Les Miles inherited a lot of talent here. Expectations high. They were ranked number 3 in the preseason. For 5 years from the leadership of Nick Saban, 2 SEC titles, a national championship, a very hard act to follow for Les Miles. The pass incomplete, looking for Craig Davis. And already the coach has come under heavy criticism from the media, from fans on some websites. They already have websites down in Louisiana calling for the dismissal of Les Miles after 3 games and a 2-1 record.
Boy, that's hard when you're coaching. Here's a safety right here, Sean, so they get into run defense, and that's why the passing game's wide open on the outside. They're really setting the set Joseph Adai up.
3rd down and 4. They're trying to overcome that big holding penalty against Early Doucette. Just a 4-man rush for Vanderbilt, and the pass incomplete. Thrown behind David Jones. He still could have caught it, but did not. A break for Vanderbilt. Jones was open. Couldn't corral it. And Les Miles with a decision to make. It would be a long field goal, about a 50-yarder. And it looks like right now they can do almost anything they want offensively, Mike. Why wouldn't you go for it?
I think I would go for it in this football game. But when I say that, I have so much respect for Jay Cutler on the other side. He's a quarterback that could get hot and get Vanderbilt in this football game.
I don't think I would start a website over this decision, but I wouldn't agree with it either. You're already at the 33-yard line. Delay a game will be the call against LSU. That might be one of those that proves to be beneficial for the punter. Give him a little more room.
Delay a game. Offense, 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
I have so much respect for Jay Cutler, and the Vanderbilt offensive football team is dangerous. This guy gets hot now. He can make a football game.
Jackson hangs it up nicely, and they will down it near the 2-yard line.
Good decision.
36-yard punt down by Ronnie Prude. Tomorrow night on ESPN, Sunday Night Football, the undefeated Bengals at 4-0 versus the 2-2 Jacksonville Jaguars. What a great start to the season for Carson Palmer, completing 70% of his passes. Coverage begins at 7:30 Eastern with NFL Prime Time, presented by Miller Lite. Cincinnati, the second highest scoring team in the AFC right now, led by those eye-popping numbers by Palmer.
We talked about Carson Palmer with Norm Chow last night at dinner. He's really high on him.
Palmer out of USC. Norm Chow, the former offensive coordinator there, now here in Nashville with the Tennessee Titans as their offensive coordinator. Jackson Garrison carried out to the 6, and here's Matt Weiner.
Oh, it's going to be a rough night in Lincoln, Nebraska. Texas Tech and Nebraska, 2 of the 12 unbeaten 1A teams to start the day. Comes down to the final minute. Cody Hodges, 4th touchdown pass of the day, wins it. Red Raiders by 3 in Lincoln.
Texas Tech has some weapons now. They may be better than everybody thinks.
Continued that momentum from their Holiday Bowl thrashing of Cal right into this season. Kaysen Jackson Garrison carries again. He's out across the 10-yard line. They'll need about 3 for a first down. Jesse Daniels, the safety, made the tackle. Jackson Garrison and Jennings divide time in the backfield. And spoke with Kaysen yesterday. He said, Jeff's a little bigger, but I'm a little quicker. And they're the best of friends, roommates. Bill said neither one of us care who plays as long as we win. And they have been winning, 4-1. Entering this game with LSU. The loss to the Tigers in Baton Rouge last year, 24-7. Cutler got hurt in that game in the 3rd quarter. He is taken down to the end zone for a safety. Chase Pittman upended Cutler. And it looked from here, Mike, like you have to put that on the quarterback. He knows he's in the end zone. He needed to get rid of that ball and just kept hanging on to it and takes the safety.
Trying to make a play. Chase Pittman's going to come from the outside and beats the offensive tackle, Ryan King. Jay Cutler, as a quarterback, you have to feel the rush, but Chase Pittman just ran by the offensive tackle, King.
Huge play by the junior from Shreveport, transfer from the University of Texas. Had some big shoes to fill. He's moved into the spot occupied by Marcus Spears, who was the first-round pick of the Dallas Cowboys. At this point last year, Cutler had already been sacked 24 times, only 8 this year. They've changed the offense. They've gone to a much quicker passing game, 3-step drop and throw it, but that time it wasn't quick.
No, the field position, again, give Les Miles credit because he punted the ball inside the 5 and set that defensive play up.
With the free kick, they elect to put it on the tee. Brian Honfeld for the line drive. Muffed for a moment by Skylar Green at the 10. That gives the coverage time to get down there. And they tackle him near the 24 and a late flag thrown in. Earl Bennett, another special teams tackle after a 15-yard return. And it might go back even deeper after the flag. Sorted out by Jeff Roberson. It will. And he has to be delighted with that after a free kick to have the opponent start well inside the 20. That doesn't happen very often. 9-0 Tigers. 5:26 to go in the first quarter.
Introducing the Total Value Promise.
From the award-winning quality of Buick, I promise.
I promise to stand behind your Buick.
With our 4-year, 50,000-mile new vehicle warranty.
And the serenity of a quiet-tuned interior.
I promise you the security of OnStar, a new 2006 Buick model. It's our Buick Total Value Promise to you.
The 2006 LaCrosse CX, under $22,600 after all applicable offers. See your Buick dealer today.
Ladies and gentlemen, the main event. Will one of the legends of poker win it all? Or will the streak of unknown continue?
Braver wins it all. This is beyond fairy tale. It's inconceivable.
Someone will leave Vegas $7.5 million richer and become poker's next legend. But who? The World Series of Poker, presented by Milwaukee's Best Light. The main event begins Tuesday at 8 on ESPN.
Louisiana, we've been tried and tested. With our big hearts in these tough times, we will make it through.
Rise up, let your colors shine true. Celebrate the good things they're all around in this town. Stand up and let your colors shine through. We are Louisiana true.
Hi, Tommy Hodson here for All-Star Automotive, proud sponsor of Bowl for Hope, a great family event benefiting Boys Hope, Girls Hope of Baton Rouge. Providing value-centered, family-like homes, Boys Hope, Girls Hope helps motivate underprivileged boys and girls meet their full potential to become contributing adults. Join me in All-Star Automotive, October 8th and 9th at Circle Bowl. Call today and register your team at Bowl for Hope.
Choose All-Star, where the deals are sweet.
Marcus Russell in the Tiger offense back on the field. Marcus, the sophomore from Mobile, Alabama, all-time leading passer in the history of Alabama high school football. Threw for more than 10,700 yards, broke the records of Brody Croyle. Now starring at Alabama. Great defensive play on first down by David Carter. Joseph Adai dropped for a loss back at the 9-yard line.
David Carter makes a play, comes inside, and nobody blocks him. And that's what Vanderbilt needs. They need to make LSU play in long yardage situations.
Carter, a sophomore, played a lot last year as a true freshman, particularly early in the year. Then he had a leg injury. Second and 13. Russell on target to the tight end, David Jones. The ball's out, and the Commodores have it at the 20-yard line. Rashard Langford recovered the fumble. Tough start for Jones. He's dropped a couple passes, and now after he hangs on to the pass, he fumbles after the catch.
He never brings the football in. David Jones gets this curl around, but he never tucks it away. The ball's like a loaf of bread, and they knock it out. Vanderbilt needed this break.
Andrew Pace knocked it out. The cornerback, converted safety. He was a starting safety the last 2 years. From the LSU 20, first and 10 for Jay Cutler in the Commodore offense. Out of the shotgun. Looking for the end zone for Bennett, and it's batted away. Excellent defensive play by Ronnie Prude. Covering the true freshman Bennett, who's become a favorite target of Jay Cutler.
Earl Bennett, the freshman, true freshman, as you said, goes up for the football. But Ronnie Prude, it gets better and better every week as a corner.
Ball underthrown a little bit by Cutler. Bennett has had 18 receptions in the previous 2 games. 11 against Richmond, 7 last week against Middle Tennessee. Hand off to Kason Jackson Garrison. He goes for a yard, perhaps 2. Tackled by the defensive tackle Kyle Williams, preseason All-American from Ruston, Louisiana.
Sean, you were talking about Earl Bennett. It really, and that's what Vanderbilt has to do, get good players. Earl Bennett came down to trying to decide between Notre Dame and Vanderbilt. Committed to Kentucky, then changed his mind, but Notre Dame wanted him.
25 receptions, already the 3rd highest total ever by a Vanderbilt freshman. Heavy rush. Cutler zips one. It's deflected and falls incomplete. After it was tipped, Eric Davis had a shot at it. Tried to keep it alive for Vandy, but Jonathan Zenon broke up the play, so they do not capitalize in a big way on the fumble. They'd like to make sure they get 3 points, and it'll be Hanfeld for a field goal. Stelz, the safety, Craig Stelz, came on the blitz and knocked down Cutler.
That's the best pass defense you can have. Knock the quarterback down. Craig Stelz on the safety blitz.
Hanfeld has had an excellent freshman year. This will be a 36-yard try, and it is right down the middle. He's now 9 for 12 for the year kicking field goals. They've already kicked more field goals than they did all of last year. That's been a problem for Vandy among many in recent years. And good for Hanfeld, Mike, because the last time he kicked, it was on the last play of the game last Saturday night right here at Vanderbilt Stadium. They were down 17-15 last play of the game. He tried that exact same distance, a 36-yarder, and it was blocked. It wasn't his fault. They had incredible penetration, and Jeremiah Weaver blocked it for the Blue Raiders.
Yeah, lost a key game, a game where university is about 30 miles from here, and they came in here, played a great game, beat Vanderbilt. But we talked to Vanderbilt players, and we said, you asked them, you said if you would been told you'd beat 4-1 after 5, you'd feel pretty good about that. So they got over that game.
And clearly they would. The question is, how much better are they? Clearly they're better in year 4 under Bobby Johnson. They were 2-9 last year, but Coach Johnson felt they turned the corner. They had a lot of heartbreaking losses. 5 of those 9 losses were by a total of 15 points combined. This year they've been winning the close ones. League wins at Arkansas and here against Ole Miss. They opened the season with a dramatic late win at Wake Forest. They've also defeated Richmond, a 1AA squad, and then had that loss to Middle Tennessee State, which was 0-3 coming in and hadn't scored more than 7 points in a game. That was a damper, but not completely. They still have that 4-1 start in perspective. After the touchback, we check in with Matt Weiner.
Sean, a Big Ten game that would have seemed to have had a lot more significance a couple of weeks ago. Iowa and Purdue. Drew Tate to Quinton Solomon, 29 yards. They've tacked on a safety, and the Hawkeyes now lead it by 14.
Certainly is an interesting year in the Big Ten. Wisconsin suffering its first loss today at Northwestern. Russell, the quick drop, and it is incomplete, and Craig Davis got walloped on the near sideline. Kelechi Ohanaja delivered a tremendous blow right along the sideline.
Well, the mistake is Jamarcus Russell. When you try to get the ball on the fade route between the corner and safety, he hangs it up too long for Craig Davis, and he took a wallop.
Ohanaja, third year as a starter, senior from Arlington, Texas, whose parents are from Nigeria, has already graduated, working toward a master's degree. 2nd and 10. Again out of the gun for Russell with 3 wide receivers and a die. Who takes the handoff and runs across the 25 to the 26. Andrew Pace made the tackle.
This is an this is an offense, Sean, that Jimbo Fisher says trying to find their identity. First two games up and down a little bit, but they had a big win last week, and they started out this football game throwing the ball well.
3rd and 4, and again this crowd trying to help the Vanderbilt defense, which has already given up 145 yards in just more than 12 minutes of action. Long time for Russell to throw, and he has the first down. Out to the 31. Wayne Bowe, another catch. He got driven back, but the forward progress was out to the 31, and a first down for LSU.
Jamarcus Russell, 6'6". He takes the shotgun snap, stands in the pocket, finds a throwing lane. He's so tall. I really believe he's going to be a great quarterback for LSU. Before it's all over, this guy will play in the pro football.
Well, great size, great arm strength. I think sometimes he tries to do so much because he has so much ability. He thinks he can get away with just about anything. And he'll be inclined to making the big mistake, trying to force it. Hands off to a guy. There's a flag down. Ohanaja made the tackle. The run went to the 45 for 14 yards if it stands. But it will not. Wayne Bowe here in the first quarter with 98 yards receiving already and a touchdown in less than a full quarter of action.
I believe they're going to call it on Whitworth. 76, you're going to see him come out and get his arm outside. And that's why they called it.
Maybe one All-American holding another. Whitworth, a preseason candidate for the Lombardi Award and Outland Trophy, holding on to Osibagi. Osibagi, the preseason first-team All-SEC linebacker. Adai, after the penalty walk-off, it was 1st and 11. Carried out to the 34. They'll need 7 now on 2nd down. Jonathan Goff made the tackle for Vanderbilt.
Sean, how about Osibagi and all the players we talked to from the Vanderbilt football team? I mean, impressive to meet them and what they're doing here, the students that they are, and really love their football and feel they can go to a bowl game.
Here at Vanderbilt, one of the premier academic institutions in the country, the only private university in the SEC, and by far the smallest with 6,000 students. Great run by Russell, showing his versatility. Lamar Divins finally able to run him down. But it's a gain of 15 and a first down out of midfield for LSU as we're under a minute to go in the opening quarter.
That's why Jamarcus Russell is dangerous. He has a strong arm. He's 6'6", can see over the defense. He can run the football. A very good athlete at Williamson High School in Mobile.
Back to the I formation with Joseph Adai. The tailback. Following the block of Jacob Hester. Didn't get anything. Back to the line, and that's all. Curtis Gatewood made the tackle. That might be the last play of the quarter if LSU elects to have it be that way. And that's what Les Miles says. Let's take it to the other end. They don't have to go very far with the ball almost on the 50-yard line. Russell 6 for 10 passing for 109 yards and a touchdown. And LSU leads Vanderbilt 9-3 at the end of the first quarter.
The Major League Baseball Division Series continues tonight at 11 on ESPN.
Red 21! Prime rib! Seasoned seared! Slow roasted and Outback!
Try something bold. Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right.
Julie, will you take me to Outback for their new Heart of Gold Bronze filet with sauteed artichokes, sun-dried tomatoes, and a light lemon Alfredo sauce?
Yes, I will. Try something bold. Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right.
People have been waiting for this game for a long time. marching band is here as well. Coming up on the campus.
Football. Are you in good hands?
My head said, go ahead, paint. My budget said, go ahead, paint everything.
Now through Monday, get $5 off by mail-in rebate on 1-gallon cans of Glidden Evermore interior and exterior paint and stains. And save even more with $20 off by mail-in rebate on 5-gallon buckets. Find everything you need, from the largest paint color palette in America to the know-how to make it easy, at only one place.
The Home Depot. You can do it, we can help.
Need new tires? Get to the big Bridgestone rebate event for up to a $100 mail-in rebate on select Bridgestone Dueler tires, September 15th through October 15th, only at your local participating Bridgestone and Firestone retailer. Wherever you see this Bridgestone sign.
You know what's insane? You can control the Black Eyed Peas with the push of a button.
F-R-E-S-H-B fresh, D-E-F, that's right, we definite, Black Eyed Peas, we reppin' it.
The music, the stuff, it all comes together right here. Best Buy. Thousands of possibilities. Get yours.
We're back at Vanderbilt Stadium in Nashville, Tennessee. One quarter in the books. Quarter controlled by LSU, but the lead only 9-3. Despite the fact they ran 23 plays in the first quarter, only 9 for Vanderbilt. 2nd and 9 from midfield, the first play of the second quarter. DeMarcus Russell dumps it off short for Craig Davis. He's been bothered by a foot injury just about all year. Didn't dress last week. Russell sharp again, threw for 109 and a touchdown. Culminating the opening drive, Dwayne Bowe to catch, one of his 5 in the first quarter. And the defense did its part. Case Pittman tackling Jay Cutler for a safety. The only score by Vandy was after a fumble by LSU. Vanderbilt moved the ball only 2 yards after the fumble, and Bryant Honfeld kicked a 36-yard field goal. 6 yards of offense in the quarter for Vanderbilt. Skylar Green hands it off to Xavier Carter, a track star. He fumbles, and Vanderbilt has it back. Asevigi recovered the fumble.
Thompson dislodged the football.
Here's Sharon Thompson, who pulled it out, the senior from Atlanta. Second fumble by LSU. Second fumble recovery of the season by Sivigi. The defense starting to settle in for Vanderbilt now. That's the second time they've handed the ball to their offense with great field position. This time at their own 43. They come after Cutler again, forced to throw off his back foot. And incomplete. Claude Roten decked Cutler. They've been able to keep Cutler upright all season long, but they're not playing Middle Tennessee or Richmond here tonight.
No, this front four is good. You talked about 12.5 sacks, 11.5 by the defensive line. Claude Roten, number 98, just overpowers the offensive line, and that's the best defense against a good quarterback.
Cutler just 1 for 5 passing. He's been under duress. Jeff Jennings, the lone back. 3 wide receivers. This is a formation they've used a lot this year as they've gone to more of a passing attack. One-handed catch of a high snap, then a high throw. Incomplete. Off the hands of the tight end, Dustin Dunning. You can see the pressure is starting to affect Cutler. He's not anywhere near as accurate as he ordinarily is.
No, it's doing something to the center, too, because the high snap, just a good athlete, Jay Cutler. If Bo Pelini, the defensive coordinator, just heating up Jay Cutler.
Bo Pelini in his first year, working with Les Miles. Les Miles had not worked with either of these coordinators before. He kept Jimbo Fisher off Nick Saban's staff. Hired Pelini away from Oklahoma. Plenty of time that time for Cutler in a pass interference penalty. He was looking for George Smith. And there was contact before the ball arrived by Jonathan Zenon.
Holding, defense, number 19, against an eligible pass receiver before the ball was thrown. 10-yard penalty, automatic first down.
When you give Jay Cutler time, now he'll find the wide receivers. The corner, Zenon holding George Smith with his left arm.
Well, penalties and turnovers are a problem for LSU. 2 turnovers, now 5 penalties. And Vanderbilt across midfield to the LSU 47-yard line. And Cutler called timeout with the play clock about to expire. Vanderbilt has been outplayed significantly, but is driving only down by 6.
These gardens have the most exquisite Venus flight. Oh, he likes you.
Go where you want with drive-free at Avis.
Did you know this guy's are at 16,000 pounds of water pressure? 16,500, son!
Now rent 3 times and get a free weekend on us. Find our lowest prices at avis.com.
Take a half-pound of beef, pile on mushrooms and Swiss cheese. Now that's something to yodel about. Ruby Tuesday's Alpine Swiss Burger. One of 36 famous burgers only at Ruby Tuesday. So good, it's guaranteed.
Free high-speed internet. Relax, it's Holiday Inn.
SOCOM 3, rated M for mature.
The medicine, the plastics, the materials, things that make modern life modern come from one place, chemistry. Learn more at AmericanChemistry.com.
Commodores have not had much reason to celebrate in recent years. 2 wins in each of the last 3 seasons. 4 already this year. Looking for 2 more to be bowl eligible for the first time since 1982. They're looking for a touchdown on this drive to take the lead, down 9-3. And the pass caught. Marlon White appears to have the first down at the 38-yard line. Ronnie Prude made the tackle. Here's Matt Wider.
All right, Sean, Louisville's got the offense rolling again, and they get a little defense as well against North Carolina. Justin Warren fumbles it. They'd have to review that to determine it was a fumble. Eventually ruled so. And while they're doing that, Deion Palmer is running back the other way to put 69 up on the board for the Cardinals. Meanwhile, it's over in West Lafayette. Iowa doubles up Purdue 34-17.
It didn't start very well this year for Iowa, but you look up, there they are, 4-2, 2-1 in the conference, in position to contend again for that Big Ten title. They measured here, and it is a first down. Just the second first down of the game for Vanderbilt. The first was moments ago on that penalty for defensive holding against LSU.
And South Florida must have made Louisville mad.
Yeah. The Cardinals under Bobby Petrino have not been afraid to pour it on anybody when they have the chance.
He'll let you have it.
Flag and whistles before the snap.
For the ball was snapped. Ball start. Offense, number 65. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
They don't have a number 65 on their roster. It's the first penalty against Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt trailing 9-3. We're early in the second quarter. Sean McDonough, Mike Gottfried, Alex Flanagan, Jamarcus Russell. Off to another very good start. The LSU cause hurt by penalties and turnovers. They've had 2 fumbles. Flags down again. Cutler on a quarterback draw. He's rushed for more than 1,200 yards in his career. He's the leading active rusher among SEC quarterbacks and second all-time at Vanderbilt in rushing among quarterbacks. Number 65, by the way, is Mac Pyle, who's been out and wasn't expected to play.
Illegal formation. Offense. Not enough players on the line of scrimmage. Penalty is declined. Second down.
He was not listed on their roster, but he's back tonight from a knee injury suffered against Arkansas. And that's a big return because he was a starting offensive lineman at the beginning of the year, one of the best for Bobby Johnson.
Has good size, too. 6'5", 320. Can match up with these big defensive tackles of LSU.
Vandy hurting itself with penalties. Second down and 13. Out of the gun. A blitz again. Picked up by Jennings. The throw incomplete. Looking for Eric Davis. Chevis Jackson had good coverage.
So far, Bo Pelini's calling every right defense against Jay Cutler. He's putting people in the face of the quarterback. They got good coverage. Ronnie Pruse, Chevis Jackson in the secondary. Tight man coverage. No throwing lanes for Jay Cutler.
He's just 2 for 8. 17 yards passing. The senior from Santa Claus, Indiana. He steps up and then runs out of time. Had some running room for a moment, but it closed up quickly in the arms of Melvin Oliver. His 3rd sack of the year for the senior from Opelika, Alabama.
This is a good plan defensively to keep an offense off balance. Now, Ted Kane, the offensive coordinator, has got to find a way to help the offensive line because they're getting beat. They're getting beat on the first punch. Melvin Oliver, of course, Jay Cutler ran into that sack.
He saw an opening for a moment, but it closed up very quickly. Hanfeld got too much of that punt into the end zone. 43-yard punt, but a net of just 23, and we check in with Alex Flanagan.
Hey, Sean, well, every time that Jay Cutler gets sacked, cringing up in the stands are his parents, Sandy and Jack Cutler. I talked to them before the game tonight, and they told me that last season and the seasons prior have been really tough for them. At one point, Jack, Jay's father, came to the staff here at Vanderbilt, voiced his concerns that his son was taking too many hits. He told me after a while, he said he just didn't know what to say to his son anymore. He said, how many times do you tell him hang in there? Well, luckily, Sean, he hasn't had to tell him that this much this season. He might have to a little bit tonight, though.
Jack Cutler advised his son at the end of last season to head into the NFL draft. largely because of all of those hits. Justin Vincent the run, Langford the tackle, and a flag down after a 13-yard gain. They've done a lot of things here, Mike, to reduce the number of hits on Jack Cutler's son. They don't run the option with the quarterback carrying the football in the running game anywhere near as much as they have in previous
Offside,
years.
nose man, the defense. Penalty is declined. First down.
And they have gone to a three-step and throw it passing game, although they haven't been effective throwing it quickly tonight.
33 sacks last year. He took a whipping last year. LSU last year knocked him out in the second half. So far tonight, he's been hurried.
Cutler did look into the NFL draft, talked to some people. The consensus seemed to be a third or fourth round pick. He decided he didn't want to quit on his teammates, wanted to finish what he had started, and obviously he's reaping the rewards now with one of the best seasons in a very long time for the Commodores. Vincent carries again for 16. Langford made the tackle. First down, LSU out at the 49-yard line.
This is another reason this is a pretty good offensive football team. You got Joseph Adai runs at you for a while, and then you bring on Justin Vincent. They have a third tailback, Shyrone Carey. They're all tough.
10.5 to go till halftime. 6-point lead for the Tigers. Russell wants to throw the deep ball. Look at that arm strength. He threw it a double coverage, incomplete. Excellent coverage by Ohanija and Pace. But boy, does Russell have a cannon.
He does, but well covered.
Yep.
Really, you talked about it thrown into double coverage. You just hung one up and hoped it came down in his player's hands. Andrew Pace with good coverage. Safety moved to corner, stayed right with the wide receiver.
Pace, another one of those well-rounded human beings here at Vanderbilt. 3.3 student in human organization and development. Vincent gets driven back by Langford. Sivigny also in on the tackle. Pace is also the president of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes chapter here on campus, organizing speakers and Bible studies. Dustin Dunning, the tight end, also helps him with those responsibilities. He talked about conversations with these players, and reminds you a lot of the military academies, the kind of young men you meet when you go to Army and Navy, the guys who love to play football, but they also realize they're here to get one of the best educations you can get.
Impressed me too. 3-3, but he's also a juggler.
And a very good one. You made him prove that he could juggle, and he grabbed 3 highlighters and juggled flawlessly. 3rd and 3, a dive, first down, and much more. Needed 3, and he got 9. Theo Horrocks made the tackle.
Secondary having to make the tackles for Vanderbilt. Adai, who Les Miles says is a warrior.
Become their featured back. They're without Ali Broussard, their leading rusher last year. Adai was number 2 in rushing at LSU last year. Broussard out for the year with an injury. Adai is filling those shoes very well. Rushed for 109 in the opener against Arizona State. Adding to his total tonight, down to the 28-yard line. Theo Horrocks made the tackle. Tonight, the Major League Baseball Division Series continues on ESPN at 11 Eastern. It's the St. Louis Cardinals and the San Diego Padres. The Cards are up 2-0. Padres need a win to extend the National League Division Series, presented by Budweiser on ESPN. Tonight, 11 Eastern. Matt Morris and Woody Williams will be the pitchers. There'll be a new Major League Baseball World Series champion this year. Adai stacked up, tried to spin away but could not. Dropped right at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd down and 4.
2 things on baseball. Where's your ring? I love that ring. It weighs your hand down, though, but then...
Didn't wear the Red Sox World Series ring this week. I wish I had. Might have brought them better luck.
Jake Peavy, great pitcher for San Diego, a Mobile guy who helps a lot of charities down there. Wishing he gets back. He's got a cracked rib and hoping he gets
celebrate
back.
After you win to clinch the playoffs. I think that's the lesson. We've seen so many guys over the years hurt in those dog piles. Big third down here. Crowd again trying to encourage the defense. Been a typical Vandy performance defensively, Ben, but don't break. And another turnover. Picked off by Langford. Look out from behind. He held on to the football as Craig Davis tackled him. The pass was deflected, and Langford reacted quickly. The redshirt freshman from Tanner, Alabama, with his second interception of the year, and he returned it 28 yards.
Jamarcus Russell's going to try to go to a curl route on this side. Throws the ball too hard. It gets away from him. Right here, he's trying to throw the curl route, and it gets away, and Langford picks it off.
LSU dominating statistically, but still with just a 6-point lead. We have seen plenty of examples of what can happen if you let the underdog hang around too long. They come right after Cutler again. Boy, is there holding. No flags, but you could have certainly thrown a flag for holding, and it didn't matter. They still got to Cutler for the third sack of the night. Everybody, it seems, blitzing for LSU. That time it was the cornerback Ronnie Prude first there.
Yeah, you're right, Sean. They just roared up the football field. They're beating the offensive line. You'll see just the collapses in the pocket.
Look at that holding.
Still can't stop it.
I mean, they tackled Claude Roten. There was no flag, and they still got the big sack. Injury on the play. Mac Pyle, we mentioned, returned from the knee injury. A young man who's battled a lot last year, dealt with depression and anxiety. Able to continue his football career. Now this year, the knee injury. Wearing braces on both legs, and he'll be helped off.
Sean, you have to find a way to slow this rush down. Now, it's easier said than done. Draws, quick screens, quick passes. Try to wear the defensive line out a little bit, but you have to find a way to help this offensive line. They're getting overpowered.
You know, it's interesting because LSU so far this year under Bo Pelini really hasn't blitzed much at all. They haven't had to. They have that great front four. We mentioned they have 11.5 of the 12.5 sacks coming in. But tonight it's been a steady diet of blitz, and Cutler has not been able to escape. Tackled for his safety. Even when he hasn't been sacked, he's taken plenty of hits. Now 2nd and 18. Running for his life again. Dumps it off. It is caught. Dustin Dunning, the tight end, for a first down. They needed 18. They got 19, but there is a flag. An eligible receiver downfield.
You know what I think this play was? I think it was a draw, a shovel draw. And sometimes when you have a shovel draw on.
Ineligible receiver downfield, number 78, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Josh Eames called for the penalty.
Josh Eames, let's see if 78 right guard, see what he does. Thought it was going to be a shovel draw. No, he just got downfield. Wide open receiver. I think it was some other lineman that was downfield, not Eames.
What a big turnaround. Instead of 1st and 10, 2nd and 23. Cutler throws short from Marlon White. Travis Jackson ran him out of bounds. They get some of the yardage back. They'll need about 11 after we check in with Matt Weiner.
Sean Callan, UCLA, in one of 2 games today, pairing unbeaten teams. And the Bears off to a quick start. Justin Forsett, big run inside the UCLA 20-yard line, would set up. Forsett one more time to go up and over, and then it's Joe Ayub to Craig Stevens. The Bears lead it early, 14-0.
talk about one of the great coaching jobs in recent college football history, what Jeff Tedford has done at Cal and continues to do. Cutler with flags down. His pass batted down by Chevis Jackson. Flags at the line of scrimmage on both sides of the field. Eric Davis was the target of Cutler. They will likely turn that one down, then force a punt.
Illegal formation, offense, not enough players on the line of scrimmage. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
The other thing that happens to you, Sean, when you get hit as a quarterback, all of a sudden you don't set your feet. Jay Cutler's not setting his feet. Watch his feet right here as he drops back to pass, never sets his feet, throws off the back foot, trying to get the ball to Eric Davis.
Honfeld on the punt again. On 4th and 12 from the 42. Trying to kick it away from Green, who retreated to the 10 and returned to the 23. Andrew Pace made the tackle. 43-yard punt and a 13-yard return.
Turn off the Ambilight function on your Philips flat TV, and it's like going back in time. The only flat TV with Ambilight from Philips. You'll never go back to ordinary TV.
I make my living 8 seconds at a time in the world's toughest sport. So when I'm not battling one of these, I'm riding one of these. Whether I'm on the trail, I'm on the ranch, or on the hunt, ain't nothing tougher than my Grizzly.
For a limited time, get a Warn winch for just $69.95 plus low monthly financing.
I hadn't looked in the bag in a long time.
Decades.
I'm State Farm Agent Ken Heiner, and this is a true story.
We count on Ken for car insurance.
I told him we could also help with their financial needs.
He asked for it.
My office put in some long days.
And nights. She's a bit of a pack rat.
He gave us a lot of options.
Life insurance, mutual funds, loans.
They put it all in a neat little folder.
And she put it back in her paper bag.
Talk to your State Farm agent about your financial future today.
Like a good neighbor.
State Farm is there.
Nothing outperforms Gillette M3 Power Nitro. Push the button and feel the boost in performance. Gillette's battery-powered motor sends micropulses to the patented Power Glide blades. Get unsurpassed comfort and the world's best shave. M3 Power blows away the competition. You'll be blown away or Gillette will give you your money back, guaranteed. Try Gillette M3 Power, the world's best shave, or your money back.
It's time now for your chance to win one of 100 Philips HD TVs with DirecTV service for a year. Log on to 100yardblitz.com to enter. The code word is Goal Line.
Back in Nashville. 5:55 to go in the first half. LSU leads 9-3. Now they have it 1st and 10 from their 23. Joseph Adai. Nice cut back to the inside. He gets 11 more for the Tigers. Ralph McKenzie made the tackle. They've been averaging 7.2 yards per play prior to that play. 238 yards of offense for LSU to only 18 yards for Vanderbilt. But the Tigers have turned it over on each of their last 3 possessions.
It's what Vanderbilt has done all year on defense. They've been, don't break. They don't give up points.
Adai took a sturdy hit from Rashard Langford, who's been a factor here in the first half for Vanderbilt. With the interception, he's been involved in a number of tackles and some pretty hard hits along the way.
And Jimbo Fisher is going to the run right now to try to settle Jamarcus Russell down. Off to a big start, and you'd think with all the yardage disparity that LSU would be up 21 points.
LSU's been averaging 33 points per game in their first 3. Second and 8. Adai took the inside handoff, and he was not pulled. Moses Osibagi made the tackle. Well, you saw the great disparity in the statistics, but it's been the mistakes, the penalties, and particularly the turnovers that have been costly. Jones and Carter with fumbles, both recovered by Vanderbilt. And the deflected pass picked off by Langford. Kevin Joyce did a great job to get his hands on that pass, and Langford with the quick reaction. No rush at all on Russell, and his bullet is incomplete. Too hot to handle for Craig Davis. Vanderbilt rushed only 3, dropped 8 into coverage. Davis was open, but they couldn't complete it.
Yeah, LSU came right up and went right down the field and scored on a big pass play from Jamarcus Russell. But since that time, they look like they've lost their focus on offense. Dropped balls, fumbles, penalties.
Now Chris Jackson on the punt. Earl Bennett back deep, very high punt. Bennett, the freshman, hit immediately. Prude got there first, and then Cameron Vaughn finished him off. And that true freshman might learn the benefits of a fair catch from time to time after that experience. 45-yard punt, a beauty by Jackson. No return by Bennett. We'll return to Nashville right after this.
People everywhere are experiencing a breakthrough. Fullness from a value menu.
Please. I have an announcement. I'm full!
Taco Bell's Big Bell Value Menu, featuring the half-pound beef combo burrito with double the beef. To keep your stomach and your wallet full, think outside the bun.
Sunday, the NFL is running all day long with highlights, analysis, and the latest news. At 11, Sunday NFL Countdown. And at 8:30, Sunday Night Football. The Bengals take...
Endless summer awaits, thanks to the spa and pool heating, cooking, and lighting of natural gas. Efficient, reliable, economical. We're making the most of the great outdoors. You're always comfortable with natural gas.
Did you know you can pay your bills online? AtmosEnergy.com.
That special piece you've been looking for is waiting for you at Lane's Jewelry and Design. Visit Lane's extensive showroom where you'll find a full line of exquisite jewelry and a friendly professional staff. Lane specializes in custom jewelry design using the most modern technology available, which allows you to see a model of the finished piece right here in the store. Lane's Jewelry and Design, located off of Airline Highway behind Piccadilly in Gonzales.
Album.
ESPN2's College Football Primetime. Brought to you by Taco Bell. Think outside the box. And smooth and refreshing Bud Light. Great taste for your great times.
And I recall a box of rain someone gave us.
One of the great attractions here in Nashville, the Grand Ole Opry. Stars like Loretta Lynn, Dolly Parton, Vince Gill, to name just a few, performed over 80 years.
George Jones and Amy Grant, we've seen them all.
Also the world's longest running live radio show broadcast from the Grand Ole Opry. Jay Cutler trying to get the top passing attack in the SEC on target. He finds Dustin Dunning, the tight end. Craig Stelz, the safety, made the tackle, a gain of 9.
They found some things here with Dustin Dunning, the tight end, working against linebackers. Came into the game with 18 receptions. Real good hands.
Ted Kane, the offensive coordinator, says he has the best hands on the team. 2 tight ends in the game now. 2nd and 2. Down to 3 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Jeff Jennings dropped for a loss. Back to the 22-yard line. Here's Matt Weiner.
All right, Sean, standing by with Jim Donnan for the Star Motorcycles halftime report. Statement game for Georgia and Tennessee. We'll show you the pictures there. And a little Red River revenge for Texas.
Total dominance by Texas today.
Plus some nail-biters in the Big Ten, all through the top of the standings there. We'll show it all to you coming up in the Star Motorcycles halftime report.
All right, Matt, thank you. Thank you to Jim Donnan as well. We'll look forward to halftime. 3rd down and 3. Vanderbilt with just 25 yards of offense on 20 plays. Cutler almost intercepted. Ran out of time, had to throw it somewhere, and almost threw it to LaRon Landry. Here's Alex Flanagan.
Well, Sean, Vanderbilt will be playing without offensive lineman Mac Pyle. You mentioned earlier his struggles with depression and the fact that he injured his left knee in the past. Well, he has re-injured that left knee, and he will be out at least for this game, if not more, Sean.
And as we've seen, they could use all the help they can get on that offensive line against this spirited pass rush from LSU. Brian Honfeld, the punt. Last year he was kicking at Montgomery Bell Academy here in Nashville, only about a mile away. His high school coach was Jeff Rutledge, the longtime quarterback in the NFL. Skylar Green gets away. And a late flag thrown. Alechi Ohanaja knocked him out of bounds. "44-yard punt, 16-yard return, another hold." When Bobby Johnson talks about the concern you have when you are punting towards Skylar.
On the return, holding, number 25 on the receiving team. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. 1st down.
He said last year we did a good job on Skylar Green for all but one punt, but unfortunately the one he took to the house, and that was a big play in the Vanderbilt loss in Baton Rouge.
Oh, there's tradition here, more than you ever imagined. The teams in this league, they've been locking headgear since heads work here. Can you smell it? Hear that? It's tradition, winning tradition. The SEC sent more teams to bowl games than any other conference in the nation, and they were the first to match up 2 divisional winners in a conference championship game. Now, where are you going to find that? Where else but football in the SEC? Tradition to you, tradition to me.
This message furnished by Vanderbilt University.
Minute 49 to go in the half. 3 timeouts left for LSU. Good field position. Tigers at their own 41. 3 wide receivers. Joseph Adai, the lone back. Jamarcus Russell working out of the shotgun too high. Looking for Skylar Green. It was well over his head. Seven for 15 now for Russell. You mentioned it started almost too easily for the Tigers. It looks like they've gotten a little complacent on offense. Punted last time, 3 turnovers on the 3 possessions prior to that. Russell with all day has early due set. And he's out of bounds in Vandy territory with a 1st down at the 36-yard line. It was Doucette who had the big 39-yard touchdown reception with under 2 minutes to go in their win at Arizona State on a 4th down and 10 play. They won their opener on Doucette's heroics.
And they blocked a punt for a score, blocked a field goal for a score. Really should have got beat in that football game. They found a way to win.
Had exactly the opposite experience in the second game. Should have won, they believed, and then lost. Langford delivers another huge blow to Craig Davis, who thankfully gets back up. Will Arnold, the offensive lineman, went to help him up, and you could see Davis nodding his head as if to say, I'm okay, I can get up myself. Also a hit by Booker on Russell at the Heathrow, but what a wallop by Langford, who's had a tremendous first half.
Langford, a good player in high school basketball, track, baseball, played everything.
Forced the fumble, had the interception. He's been credited with 5 tackles. 2nd and 10. Again, no rush from Vanderbilt. And Craig Davis steps out of bounds. About 3 yards short of the first down, just inside the 29-yard line. Andrew Pace nearest him.
So far, Bruce Fowler, the defensive coordinator, has his defense not given up the big play one time for a score. But he's making LSU earn every yard, hoping they'll make a mistake.
That was the approach he told us they would take. They got hit by a couple of big plays on LSU's opening drive, and they've limited the damage since. Russell, pressured for one of the few times tonight, throws toward the end zone into double coverage and incomplete. Looking for Dwayne Bowe, got his hands on it despite the presence of 2 defenders, including Ohanija, who looks like he's injured and is trying to deal with the pain as he walks slowly back to their defensive huddle.
Thought Dwayne Bowe should have had this pass.
Got his hands on it, but Ohanija got his hand in there to knock it away.
Would have been a tough catch.
So now Jackson, who tries their longer field goals, will attempt this one. He's 1 for 1. They're 3 for 3 this year in field goal tries as a team, and they've made 8 straight field goals dating back to last year. This is a 46-yard try. And it is off the upright and no good. Well, if you've watched this from the beginning, it's almost unfathomable that it's only a 9-3 lead for LSU, and for Les Miles, you have to be a little bit uneasy given how much his team has dominated this game except on the scoreboard.
Sean, you're right, and if you're Vanderbilt and you're Bobby Johnson, you go in at halftime, you say, hey, we've stuck up the joint on offense. If we can just put some drives together, we can win this football game.
4 receivers, they're all in tight to the formation. Play action pass for Cutler, and the pass incomplete. Well, you can just see it in Cutler now. The rush has really affected his footwork. That was nowhere near Eric Davis.
No, you're right. Not setting his feet, throwing off the back foot, hurrying the throws, all the things that a defense will make a quarterback do if they're not careful. And I want to clarify something I said. I said they stunk the place up on offense. That's not true. The defense of LSU has dominated. So I'd
leading
rather,
to the offense digging up the place.
I'd rather give LSU's defense credit.
Well, you're always a glasses half full kind of guy. It's one of the many things we admire about you. Kaysen Jackson Garrison the handoff. Melvin Oliver made the tackle. The fans are booing. I think the way this has gone, Bobby Johnson would be very happy to go in down by 6 and try to regroup and find a way to get some time for Cutler, get his confidence back. Because when you talk to these coaches, we spoke with Bobby Johnson yesterday and Ted Kane, the offensive coordinator. Ted Kane says we have scouts coming through here every day looking at Cutler, and they always ask me, what does he need to work on? Ted Kane says, I don't know. he's pretty good at just about everything.
His footwork, probably a little bit in this first half, has been off. And I just thought of something you said. You said Vanderbilt fans are booing. I mean, when did you ever think that would happen?
A lot over the years. I mean, they've given them plenty of reasons to boo.
The expectation level is rising.
Yes, they're much more emotional now. They're hungry. They've been waiting for this for a long time. And everybody waits for Monday Night Countdown, delivered by UPS. It begins at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN. You get all the news and stories from around the NFL, taking you right up to the start of Monday Night Football at 9 Eastern on ABC. And this week it's the Steelers and the Chargers. Monday Night Countdown at 7:30 on ESPN. Monday Night Football at 9 on ABC. How about those Chargers after an 0-2 start? 86 points in their last 2 games, and their defense will have to deal with Ben Roethlisberger. 3rd and 10. Here comes another LSU blitz. Cutler throws, juggled by Dunning. He lunges for the first down. It'll be close. Looked like he got across the yellow line, and that's really going to mark it. Jonathan Zenon, the tackle. 11 yards. Now 44 seconds to go. And if you're Bobby Johnson, do you try to think about scoring now?
Yes.
He has 2 timeouts left. They're going to measure. Jonathan Zenon, who was involved in the tackle, looked like he injured his shoulder. He's gone down to the ground.
Jay Cutler shows a good arm on that play. He has a strong arm. Footwork's bad tonight, but Dunning made a great catch. Dustin Dunning, really the catch and the effort to get the first down is big. Watch his catch. Ball behind him or brings it in, then tough enough to lunge forward to get that first down.
Then his head twisted around, but still lunged across the line. Cutler throws to the far sideline. Earl Bennett was on his knees, and they'll use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. Short gain out to the 45-yard line. Chevis Jackson made the tackle. Interesting situation here at Vanderbilt, Mike. So bad in football for so long. Here comes Bobby Johnson. He's been at Furman for a lot of his life. 16 years as assistant coach, then 8 as the head coach. He had a good thing going there. They were in the 1AA national championship game his last year there. But he decided to take on this task, and you get the sense that they are turning a corner.
Well, I think they are. I think they're recruiting better players. They're poised to get a big win. They beat Arkansas. They beat Ole Miss. So they're a couple wins, 2-0 in the SEC. So that's unheard of. But they have a chance. They have a chance tonight. The way LSU's playing, if they get their offense on track, then you look at their schedule.
We spoke with Jay Cutler yesterday. You asked him what would be a successful season. He said going to a bowl game. That's been our goal. Well, they need 6 wins. They have 4 already. They really squandered a great chance last week against Middle Tennessee. Kentucky at home would seem to be a good chance for a win, but the rest of that schedule's tough. 4 road games remaining. It would be huge if they could pull off the upset here tonight. Cutler intercepted by LaRon Landry. The intended receiver got tangled up with a defender. Claude Roden was in the face of Cutler. Landry, with his 8th career interception, returned at 22 yards, and now LSU might think about a score with 18 seconds officially left in the half.
LaRon Landry sitting in center field. Poor footwork again by Jay Cutler. Here's Landry sitting in center field. Earl Bennett, the freshman, is trying to go to him, but he broke outside rather than inside. But here's the key. The pressure on Jay Cutler all night, throwing off his back foot, and the pressure of Bo Pelini's defense paid off.
From the 44, another chance for LSU. It's dumped off short to early Doucette, and he's out of bounds to stop the clock. 10 seconds left on the stadium clock. Our clock not in sync with the scoreboard clock. It's about a second off at the moment. Theo Horrocks, sophomore, defensive lineman, injured on the play. He divides time at tackle with Lamar Divins. They're from the same hometown, same high school, same class, from Fayetteville, Tennessee.
That's something. They're competing against each other. The defensive lineman, when you're at Vanderbilt, the toughest thing to find is defensive linemen to control the line of scrimmage, rush the passer, make a difference. And LSU has a ton of them. Vanderbilt has a hard time finding those guys.
Bobby Johnson said in recruiting, you really have to prioritize and hope you can find a young man who wants the best of both, a chance to play at the highest level of college football in the SEC, but also come here and get a world-class education. A lot of these magazines that rank universities have Vanderbilt in the top 20 in the country, right up there among Ivy League schools, etc.
In a great city with lots going on here. I walked across the campus the other day, the esteemed campus. I felt smarter.
We haven't seen many examples of that here tonight, but hopefully that'll kick in.
You won't.
It's the smallest school, an enrollment of just more than 6,000. The only private school in the SEC, but it is in the biggest city of any SEC university here in Nashville. Horrocks helped off, 2nd and 2. Time for one more play and then a field goal try. I think they might try to throw it in the end zone here. It's a quick slant. They'll try to get the field goal kicker closer. Skylar Green the catch. And here comes Chris Jackson, who hit the upright a moment ago on a 46-yard try. This will be a shorter kick.
Smart play by Skylar Green. Just go down, get the field goal attempt, get the team on the field.
Of course, they had a problem in a very similar situation at the end of the first half against Tennessee, leading 21-0. No timeouts left. Jamarcus Russell scrambled, got tackled. They tried to run the field goal unit on. It was too late. You know, Les Miles mentioned that interview on the way off the field that night that he wished Jamarcus Russell had just thrown it away, but Les Miles also could have had him spike the ball and then run the field goal team out, so there was really mismanagement on part of both player and coach. So Jackson will try from 43 yards. Matt Flynn, the backup quarterback, the holder. Just about the same angle from which he struck the upright a moment ago, and now Vanderbilt's going to call a timeout. See if they could freeze him. This would be big, Mike, because with Vanderbilt's struggles, this makes it a 2-score game.
No, you're right, Sean. And to score just before half would be a big thing for the offense of LSU. But Jay Cutler just has not performed well here in the first half. Thrown off his back foot, made some big mistakes. Something happened on that throw. Bennett was running the corner route, and he threw the post route. So I don't know if it was a broken route or he just put it up for grabs.
Looked like Bennett was preoccupied with hand fighting with one of the defensive backs, while Landry, another defender back there, picked it off. Bobby Johnson. He does resemble Steve Martin, the actor-comedian. Bobby Johnson told us about 15 years ago he's in the San Francisco airport. A group of Asian tourists thought he was Steve Martin. He tried to tell them he was not Steve Martin. They didn't understand him. They kept talking about Hollywood. They really wanted a picture with him. He said, fine, I'll take the picture. And he's afraid that to this day they still think they had their picture taken with Steve Martin. From 42 officially, that one is no good. Missed it on the other side.
Sean, if he wins this football game, his picture might be more valuable than Steve Martin.
He is a wild and crazy guy at the moment. Down by only 6. That has to be frustrating to Les Miles. He's with Alex.
Coach, you've dominated this game everywhere except for the scoreboard tonight. Why?
Well, we can't turn the ball over. We're in position to score, and we turn the football over. As long as we just settle down and play our game, we'll be fine.
A few fumbles and interception. Which mistake has been the most costly?
Those three, all equally.
All right, Coach, thank you.
See you.
We're at halftime. The Tigers 9, the Commodores 3. Now let's join Matt Weiner and Jim Donnan in the studio. It's time for the Star Motorcycle halftime report. Gentlemen.
All right, Sean, thank you very much. Vanderbilt up +2 in the turnover margin, but down 6 on the scoreboard. 9-3 there, and really probably lucky to be down only 6.
Well, LSU's got a tremendous team potentially, but they got to start taking care of the ball, and they got to learn how to play both halves. If you look at their schedule all year long, they've only played one half in every game, and maybe this next one will be the one they play.
Because of all the travails as a result of the hurricanes, this is the first regular week of preparation LSU has had. We'll see if that plays out in the second half a little more. To baseball now. New York Yankees Game 4 of their ALDS series with the Angels was postponed by rain up and down the East Coast. They'll play that tomorrow night. Meanwhile, in the NLDS, Astros and Braves added as we speak. Game 3 there. Now a 2-all game. Roy Oswalt is on the mound for Houston. It's Jorge Sosa for the Braves, as you see, making his postseason debut. And tomorrow's schedule has been rearranged a little bit on the television side because of that Yankee game moving. ESPN will have Braves-Astros Game 4. That's a 1 Eastern time game on ESPN, also available in high definition, as is Game 4 of the Cardinals-Padres. If necessary, the Cards can close out that series tonight at 11 o'clock out on the West Coast. Third round of the American Express Championships in San Francisco. And this is Tiger Woods on 17, the par 3. That is cozy. Invading the pin's personal space there. He would birdie it, shot at 68. He's at 7 under par. The trailing John Daly. How about the touch, Coach?
A tremendous touch for a guy hits it that far. He's got tremendous touch.
Third straight 67 for him. He is your leader. One up on Colin Montgomery. Sergio Garcia and Woods are both 2 back. NFL news. Michael Vick downgraded to questionable with his right knee injury against the Patriots tomorrow. He can't go. Backup Matt Schaub will start for the Falcons. Much more ahead here at the half, including the #1 team in the country, racking up big numbers against Arizona. We'll show you just how big, plus a little Red River revenge for the Texas Longhorns.
It's the new book from ESPN's Bill Simmons, Now I Could Die in Peace, available in bookstores everywhere.
This is Duralast, the battery built to exceed the need. Engineered with all the cranking power you need for extreme conditions. Built with exclusive power frame technology for greater vibration resistance. Engineered to guard against acid leaks and corrosion. And a coast-to-coast warranty. Get the battery built to exceed the need. Only at AutoZone.
I was thinking about getting a French dip. Wow, we're gonna need 2 cars.
Arby's French dip is sure to be on a lot of minds. We're talking Arby's signature freshly sliced oven-roasted beef on a toasted French roll, along with a side of hot savory au jus for dipping. It'll have your mouth watering, and it'll have you saying, I'm thinking Arby's.
This week on Sunday NFL Countdown, how bleak is the picture in New England? And can Brett turn things around for the Pack?
He's ready to be a championship quarterback, and he can do it for a few more years. Let's be clear.
Plus, find out what's got the skin singing.
Hail to the Redskins.
Hail Joey G. Sunday NFL Countdown, presented by Old Spice Red Zone, 11 a.m. on ESPN.
Step into AutoWorks in Gonzales and you'll find a world of possibilities for your car or truck. We carry the largest selection of rims and tires in the South, but that is only the beginning. Our friendly staff will guide you through our huge selection of chrome truck accessories, car audio, video, and electronics, or ask about our professional tinting services for your home or car. Come visit us at AutoWorks in Gonzales, Airline Highway, next to KFC.
As we rebuild our communities, the demand for air conditioning and electrical technicians in Louisiana is growing. ITI can prepare you to meet this demand. Get training in air conditioning and electrical technology and be ready to help rebuild our communities. Both day and evening classes are offered, and financial aid is available to those who qualify. Training as an HVAC technician gets you not one, but 2 job skills as an AC technician and electrician, which means more opportunities for you. Don't wait. Call ITI now at 752-4233.
Welcome back to the Star Motorcycles Halftime Report.
For the first time in a long time, there's some buzz surrounding Vanderbilt football, looking for their first 3-0 SEC start since 1950 and hanging with number 11 LSU. It's 9-3 at the break. Vanderbilt gets Georgia next week. Georgia on the road at Tennessee, trying to win in Knoxville for the 3rd straight time, for the first time in program history. DJ Shockley back to pass, but he's picked off by Jonathan Wade in a 13-0 game. He's headed back the other way. Tennessee would cash in on the touchdown, 13-7. Fourth quarter, same score. Tennessee punting from near their own goal line. Low kick, Thomas Flowers. Thomas Flowers, 54 yards for the touch. Into the checkerboard area, 20-7. Bulldogs win it, 27-14. Amazingly, Coach, the Bulldogs are now 17-2 on the road in true road games under Mark Richt. How impressive was this win at Tennessee?
Very impressive. The fact that this is the 3rd straight year they've gone up to Knoxville and won, and the fact that they won it so convincingly against a tremendous defense that you see from the Vols. The way that Georgia's able to punish them with the running game, you hadn't seen that in a long time. And DJ Shockley, what a tremendous game he had. He had that one pick, but, you know, he ran this club with a lot of confidence. And then Georgia's defense, just to stop that ball rushing attack, 48 yards rushing, not much from Tennessee. They got problems moving the football.
That much heralded Tennessee defensive front gave up 198 yards rushing, and you're right, Georgia completely dominated the game. They win it at Tennessee. Number 1 team in the country at home. Little, at least on paper, a little easier day against Arizona after trailing at the half for consecutive weeks. Matt Leinart rolling out, looking for Dwayne Jarrett. He's got all sorts of time to find him. And eventually, there's number 8 into the end zone. It's 35-21. That's Jarrett's 2nd of the game. Fourth quarter, Lendale White gave himself an afternoon as well. 24 carries, 179 yards, 4 touchdowns on the afternoon. 42-21 as the Trojans rack up 720 yards of total offense.
Arizona outmanned, but you got to be a little worried about this USC defense going into Notre Dame next week. I mean, Arizona moved the ball on them.
100th meeting of Oklahoma and Texas, the Red River Shootout. Adrian Peterson with a bum ankle, not really a factor, just 3 carries, 10 yards. Vince Young was. Opening drive for Raymond Taylor, 15 yards, capped a 12-play drive. Young was 5 for 5, and then he handed it off to the freshman Jamal Charles. They don't wrap him up, and they would pay. 80 yards he'll go. Texas up 14-6. Charles with a 100-plus yard day. Young to a wide open Billy Pittman. And the burnt orange burning that Sooner secondary. 24-6 at the half. More from Bevo's friends in the 3rd quarter. Young to Pittman one more time. Pretty pass he drops in there. 27 yards on the touch. Horns up 31-6. Win at 45-12. The 33 points matches the biggest margin of victory in the 100-game history of this series. Texas has now won 12 straight games. Ahead here in the Star Motorcycles halftime report, we'll check into the Big Ten. Couple of close finishes which affect the top of the standings. Northwestern, Wisconsin, and Michigan and Minnesota down to the wire for the Jug.
This halftime report is brought to you by Star Motorcycles from Yamaha. We build it. You make it your own.
There's a change taking place. A wave of self-expression. And it's being driven by people with a vision to live life, not by some rule book, but on their own terms. We build it. You make it your own. Exclusively at your Yamaha dealer.
In all the world, there are a select few who at their very core are capable of incredible transformation. Under the most grueling conditions, they are shaped, hardened, sharpened, ready to stand among the most elite of all warriors, the few, the proud Marines.
I hadn't looked in the bag in a long time. Decades.
I'm State Farm Agent Ken Heiner, and this is a true story.
We count on Ken for car insurance.
I told him we could also help with their financial needs.
He asked for it.
My office put in some long days.
And nights. She's a bit of a pack rat.
He gave us a lot of options.
Life insurance, mutual funds, loans.
They put it all in a neat little folder.
And she put it back in her paper bag.
Talk to your State Farm agent about your financial future today.
Like a good neighbor.
State Farm is there.
Unbeaten Wisconsin on the road to face Northwestern. Great Bazinet and the Wildcats trying to spoil Barry Alvarez's final season. True freshman Tyrell Sutton had a day. 45 yards there. Northwestern would go on to score, miss the extra point, 17-60. More from Sutton. 9th touchdown of the season. That's a Northwestern freshman record already. This team up by 6. Bazinet to Sutton, 14 yards. Houses that one. It's a 10-point lead. Bazinet, Sutton. Is sounding familiar? Randy Walker likes the combination, and Tyrell Sutton just gashed that Badger defense coach.
He's a tremendous young back and gives him a lot of hope for the future. You know, 99 points. This isn't Big Ten football, is it? Unbelievable.
No. Sutton with 244 yards on the ground. Back come the Badgers. Made a game of it. John Stocco to Jonathan Orr. They hooked up 4 times over the course of the game. So it's a 3-point lead. And then Stocco picked off finally some defense. Northwestern hangs on to win it 51-48. Crazy game. 674 yards of offense from Northwestern. Brian Calhoun, not seen in the highlight, managed 250 yards of total offense for Wisconsin, but the Badgers fall out of first place in the Big Ten. Minnesota and Michigan for the Little Brown Jug, which has spent a lot of time in Ann Arbor. 16 straight Michigan wins in this series. Gary Russell down the sideline with less than 2 minutes to go. 60 yards downfield into Michigan territory in a 20-all game, and that would set up Jason Giannini. Missed a couple of kicks this season, but he was true on the 30-yarder. Minnesota gets the Jug.
Yeah, this might be the signature win of Glenn Mason's to get over the hump here at Minnesota. Tremendous victory.
Because of that Wisconsin loss, the winner tonight between Penn State and Ohio State takes over sole possession at first, and that's Derek Williams, the much heralded freshman, in for Penn State, and they lead it 14-3. That game in progress on ESPN. Virginia, Boston College got ugly. Brad Butler hits Matthias Kiwanuka in the knee after the play. You got to protect the All-American. Al Washington eventually ejected for his role in that altercation. BC's Paul Anderson blocks the Chris Gold punt. Whistled for illegal contact for kicking it. Then it's BC's Brian Toll, the linebacker, who just scores touchdowns occasionally on the goal line. 5 touchdowns on the year now for that. That's a pretty good game.
Yeah, he's a mini refrigerator. He gets it in there, doesn't he?
28-17, BC wins it. Big ACC game, and Virginia Tech just keeps rolling. 41-14. Marcus Vick, 163 yards through the air. 13th straight regular season win for Tech. On the way, one of 2 games of unbeaten 1A teams involved Nebraska and Texas Tech. It came down to the wire in the Big 12. Wait till you see how it ended in Husker country.
At Ruby Tuesday, there's a burger just spicy enough, some may be too chicken to try it. The Buffalo and Blue Chicken Burger, one of 36 famous burgers only at Ruby Tuesday. So good, it's guaranteed.
Let's see how the jacked up right guard extreme power strike works now that it's 25% stronger. Let's say these guys are the power strike. Red Rover, we call T all over. And this guy's odor. You do not
not want to be odor. Get more extreme, get right there!
Your SUV is designed to go off-road, but sometimes the off-road comes to you. Introducing the new Goodyear Forterra with silent armor technology, made with SUV drivers in mind. A layer made with Kevlar means the Forterra is tough and rugged, and extra cushioning means the Forterra rides quietly and comfortably. The new Goodyear Forterra with silent armor technology. Go confidently on the wings of good.
It's new. Everyone is talking about Cade's frozen custard.
Wow, this custard is creamier than ice cream.
We just thought Grandma's ice cream was good, but Cade's frozen custard is much better.
Frozen custard is similar to ice cream, only much better. It uses higher quality ingredients for a smooth and creamy taste. For a uniquely old-fashioned fresh taste, try Cade's frozen custard at the only custard stand in South Louisiana in Gonzales on West Cornerview.
Did you know there's a store with a meat department that is second to none with USDA #1 quality beef? Ralph's Supermarket, a friendly family-owned business, takes pride in offering the finest cuts of beef, poultry, and pork. You'll love the quality and selection of their specialty meats, cut fresh daily. And it doesn't stop there. There's an assortment of big and small party trays for any event and desserts galore, including fresh-made cakes and pies. Enjoy quality and savings at Ralph's Supermarket, your friendly neighborhood store.
Just 12 1A unbeatens when the day began. Cal and UCLA represent two of them in the same game. Joe Ayub to Craig Stevens. First completion of the day for Ayub. Stevens leaps into the end zone. Cal took a 14-0 lead. Bruins come back behind Maurice Jones-Drew. The little man, a little power on the end of that run. You gotta like that.
He's got power and he's got speed. This is a great football game.
And a big punt return for UCLA as well. It's 17-14 now at the half in L.A. Two more of the unbeatens, Texas Tech and Nebraska. Wild finish. Zach Taylor for Terrence Nunn in the end zone. Hauls that in, 4-yard touchdown, so it's 28-27 Nebraska. Cody Hodges then looking to get Tech back in it. Tip pass intercepted by LaKeven Smith.
Fall down, LaKeven, fall down.
But he does it and he fumbles. Tech gets it back, another chance. Hodges scrambles, looking for Joel Fulani. Third touchdown catch of the day, and that's how Tech remains unbeaten. They are apoplectic in Lincoln, 34-31 Hodges. Another day at the office for him. 4 touchdown passes, 368 yards through the air. Jamarcus Russell and LSU looking for a little more offense and a few less turnovers. LSU on top by 6 in Nashville. We'll head back out to Vandy when we come back.
This halftime report is brought to you by Star Motorcycles from Yamaha. We build it. You make it your own.
The all-new fuel-injected Raptor 700R from Yamaha. Now get 2.9% financing on every Yamaha ATV, plus up to $200 back on select models.
Do something that makes sense. 99 cents to be exact. Like Wendy's 99-cent Junior Cheeseburger Deluxe. Hot off the grill with your choice of fresh toppings. So use some common sense. Do Wendy's. And for just 99 cents, do what tastes right.
Here's me when my sinuses act up. Pain, pressure, meat. Sinus boy. I need Dayquil Sinus, the daytime non-drowsy sinus relief. Ah, that's better. Dayquil Sinus, my hero.
In all the world, there are a select few who at their very core are capable of incredible transformation. Under the most grueling conditions, they are shaped, hardened, sharpened, ready to stand among the most elite of all warriors. The few, the proud, the Marines.
No matter what the sport, no matter who the teams, we see them dreaming about winning.
Helping these children achieve success is the foundation of the SEC's education initiative. Kids College, now in its 4th year, continues to innovate classroom learning. The award-winning Star Sportsmanship Series teaches life lessons and builds character. And SECKids.com positively nurtures youthful dreams, equipping tomorrow's leaders today. To that, we are committed.
We're back in Nashville, Tennessee. Coverage of ESPN2 college football primetime continues. We look at game track. It was a great start for Jamarcus Russell. He led LSU on the opening drive of the game. 80 yards. He piled up some big numbers. They needed just 6 plays. He threw a touchdown pass of 30 yards to Dwayne Bowe. And LSU was off to a great start. The defense hounding Jay Cutler all night long. Forced an interception, held him to 52 yards. But the turnovers started to pile up. 3 possessions in a row in which LSU turned it over. They also missed 2 field goals, including one on the last play of the first half. You can add 6 penalties to the list of LSU miscues. So it's only a 9-3 lead for the Tigers as the third quarter begins, despite a 303 to 41-yard edge in total offense for LSU. Chris Jackson will kick it off to Earl Bennett for Kaysen Jackson Garrison. LSU had made 8 straight field goals dating back to last year. Jackson missed a pair. Hit the left upright with the first. Missed the second wide right. And the second half is underway. Good kickoff. And Jackson Garrison elected not to bring it out. So job one, undoubtedly, Mike, at the half for Vanderbilt was find a way to keep Jay Cutler upright and get some sort of flow in this passing game.
Yeah, you're right, Sean. They have to find a way to slow down that rush, maybe draws, screens, get a big play. But during this football game, LSU has really helped him because you missed 2 field goals, you have 4 fumbles, you have a pass intercepted, all the penalties. They're in this football game, 1 play, they're ahead.
3 wide receivers and 1 back. And Cutler already under duress, just throws it into a crowd. There's a flag down. Marlon White, the receiver, came up with the football. Acrobatic catch. Melvin Oliver was chasing Cutler. The first half carrying over into the second for the Vanderbilt passing game. And even when they complete one, almost miraculously, the penalty, it looked like he mouthed number 84. That would be Dustin Dunning, the tight end.
Offense, number 84, 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
Dustin Dunning called for the hold.
Yep.
Pulling the jersey of Melvin Oliver.
Big penalty, wipes out an 11-yard gain. Out of the shotgun now. Cutler, high snap. Inside handoff to Jeff Jennings, and he loses a yard. The running backs had just 6 carries in the first half for Vandy. Kyle Williams made the tackle on that carry by Jeff Jennings. And we look at the first half statistics. Dominated by LSU.
Yeah, they haven't been able to run, protect the quarterback. I was thinking about one thing at halftime, Sean. He's such a good runner to get him rolling out Jay Cutler or run an option against LSU's defense.
And right on cue, quarterback draw out of the shotgun. And look at him stay on his feet, almost to the first down marker. Ronnie Pruitt finally got him down across the 28-yard line. Cutler is a big, strong guy. We talked with him yesterday. 6'3", 230 pounds. He came here at 6'2", 185 out of high school.
Nobody recruited him as a quarterback. They recruited him as a DB. Illinois offered, then pulled it off the table. He said Vanderbilt, things were getting late in January. He chose Vanderbilt.
He was crushed when Illinois withdrew the scholarship offer for him to be a quarterback. Cutler throws, retreating again, but stayed on his feet to get the ball to Marlon White for a first down. Jonathan Zenon had the coverage. He wanted to be a quarterback. He was recruited here by the former staff under Woody Woodenhofer.
Good throw again, backing up. Claude Roten on the pressure. Tell you, Sean, you just get the feeling that if they could go down on this drive and score, they can make this a football game. They have a chance to win this game.
Cutler was injured last week, dislocated the little finger on his left hand on their last drive. Said it is not a factor at all. He's airing one out deep and has a receiver, and it's batted down. Looking for Earl Bennett. Ronnie Prude had the coverage. And that's a ball that was a little bit underthrown by Cutler. He threw it a long way downfield, but had Bennett behind the defense, the ball held up there a long time.
No, you're right. When you throw the long ball, you have to throw it sooner. He has a good fake. He's got to let this ball go earlier to Earl Bennett because Ronnie Prude was able to come back because the ball's in the air so long. He's got to throw it sooner.
The leading pass offense in the conference is 59 yards tonight. LSU loading up on the blitz, and the pass incomplete. Again looking for Earl Bennett. Craig Steltz had the coverage.
You talk about Vanderbilt's problems on offense, but LSU ranked 107th out of 117 in pass deep. Kind of deceiving, though, because Arizona State, the first game under a new staff, new defense.
Arizona State at 461 passing yards. Of course, they're one of the best passing teams in the country, too. Cutler lost the football. Still free. And it looked like Vanderbilt got it back, but at the 13-yard line. They did. It'll be fourth down after a huge loss. 22-yard loss on the play. Merritt Kirschhofer, backup offensive lineman, able to recover the fumble.
Jesse Daniels is going to come on a blitz. Nobody picks him up. Jake Cutler trying to make a play, knocks the ball out of his hands. Vanderbilt very fortunate to get this ball back.
Cutler's been knocked around like a piñata all night. They knocked him out of the game to the Tigers in the third quarter last year. It was only 17-7 at the time. It was 10-7 at the half last year in favor of the Tigers in Baton Rouge. Honfeld, not as good a punt, but it'll be effective as Green had to back away. And it's down by Sean Walker at the 46-yard line. A 42-yard punt by the freshman.
Saturn View. Saturn.
People everywhere are experiencing a breakthrough. Fullness from a value menu.
Please. I have an announcement. I'm full!
Taco Bell's Big Bell Value Menu, featuring the half-pound beef combo burrito with double the beef. To keep your stomach and your wallet full, think outside the bun.
Here's a fun fact.
Erected in 1963, the walnut stands 15 feet high.
I'll be in the car.
Go where you want with drive-free at Avis.
Orca! Orca! Oh, I love Orca.
I thought you loved the humpback.
I recently changed my mind.
But I thought we established that the Orca was mine.
Now rent 3 times and get a free weekend on us. Find our lowest prices at avis.com.
Aaron Meredith made the world's highest student score on the Certified Internal Auditor exam.
Jacob Landry is the recipient of the prestigious Harry S. Truman Scholarship.
Lisette Oropesa is a national winner of the Metropolitan Opera competition.
Amaka Agachukwu was awarded the preeminent Goldwater Scholarship.
Tam Nguyen participated in research funded by the Howard Hughes Medical Institute.
Back in Nashville, Bobby Johnson and the Commodores down 9-3. LSU's first possession of the second half. Here comes a blitz! And the ball knocked out of the hands of Russell by Andrew Pace. And Vanderbilt has recovered. Ralph McKenzie recovered the fumble.
Is going to come off the corner and make this play, hit Jamarcus Russell. Here's the hit. Vanderbilt now in good shape on offense with field position.
4th turnover of the night by the Tigers. Cutler with time. Throws down the seam. Incomplete. Had Eric Davis wide open. You know, the protection's been lousy most of the night, but lately you have to blame Cutler. In the last possession, he had Bennett open. That might have been a touchdown. Underthrew him. This time Davis wide open and overthrew him.
Would have been a score. And you go back to the first half and the pounding he took. And it affects the quarterback. It's affecting him.
Bobby Johnson perplexed. He's not used to seeing his passing game, particularly his quarterback, be off like this. Fakes the handoff inside to Jennings. And carries to the 31. Chevis Jackson made the tackle.
They're going to have to run him more because of the blitz. Maybe the option play. And I'll go back to LSU. I just said to you, I thought LSU would come out and pound the ball and try to make it an attitude game, a physical football game here in the second half. And I think the next time Les Miles' offensive team comes on the field, they will pound the football.
3rd and 5. Running the tight end in motion, 3 wide receivers. Jackson Garrison, the only back. He picks up a blitz. Cutler throws into traffic, incomplete. Looking for Marlon White. Jonathan Zenon had excellent coverage. I would think this is a 4-down situation, wouldn't you?
Got to go for it. And the pressure again on Jay Cutler to make him throw and run. And Ronnie Pruden, Chevis Jackson, those corners, really tight man coverage.
Well, they're going to try a long field goal. It'll be the longest of Honfeld's career. A 48-yarder. And it's into the breeze. He got enough of it, and it is good! Ryan Honfeld, the true freshman kicker from right down the street here in Nashville, with his 2nd field goal of the night. And they're within a field goal. Bobby Johnson feeling that every point is critical in the way this game is going. It's tough to argue with that. That demonstrates how much confidence he has in the freshman kicker to try a 48-yarder. And he rewarded the coach for that confidence.
And your offense is off, not in sync, and your quarterback is not playing well, so that may have been a big move by Bobby Johnson. And I go back to LSU. They have to make it a physical football game and run the ball here in this series.
Onfeld to kick off. He's from Montgomery Bell Academy. Two of the best place kickers in recent Vanderbilt history, John Markham and Jeff Owen, also prepped at MBA just down the street. You've got to keep an eye out for Onfeld. He has 4 tackles. As a matter of fact, Coach Johnson says sometimes he's a little too eager to get involved in the tackling. We don't want him to get hurt. And says, Brian, maybe you could just try to angle them across the sideline rather than hitting them. Coach Johnson said he's the kind of guy who can play another position beyond just being a kicker. Skylar Green will run it out. Has a die ahead of him. And there's the kicker, Onfeld, with his 5th tackle of the year. Nice return by Green, 38 yards, and good field position for the Tigers.
Onfeld, 75. Luke Rosa was a kicker, wore number 76. Here's LSU. Turnovers, fumbling the football, lack of focus in the first half. Interception, and now start the second half. That's why I say they're going to come out here and run the football. Give Joseph Fadai the football.
And before they could, another miscue.
Before the ball was snapped. False start. Offense, number 89. 5-yard penalty. Still first out.
Keith Zinger in there in a 2 tight end formation for Les Miles. 7th penalty for 63 yards against LSU. First and 15. They're back at the 33-yard line. Die of the tailback. He delivers a blow. They ran right over Richard Langford. Got the 5 penalty yards back. It'll be 2nd down and 10. And since the opening possession of the game, the offense has been sporadic at best.
Yeah, the mistakes, again, it's hard to overcome them when you're calling plays, but they still have to find a way to run. They're bigger, stronger in the offensive line in the front of Vanderbilt.
Langford, who's been a star on defense for Vanderbilt, hurt after that collision with Adai. Adai really did deliver the blow to Langford. Adai also went out. Justin Vincent now the running back. They faked it to him, flipped it to Green, and he's down close to the line of scrimmage, perhaps a 1-yard gain. Jonathan Goff made the tackle for Vanderbilt. They continue to work on the left shoulder of Richard Langford.
That's the other thing LSU has not been able to do tonight. Hit the screens. That's the first screen. They had really a lot of screens against Mississippi State last week. Easy throws, get the ball into Skylar Green's hands.
Skylar Green had 9 catches, tying his career high last week against the Bulldogs. Many of them on the bubble screen. 3rd and 9 and lots of crowd noise. No rush. Russell with a man wide open. It's Skylar Green, first down. Out of bounds at the 38-yard line of Vanderbilt. Sharon Thompson was nearest, but you really couldn't say he had coverage because there was no coverage on Green, a 23-yard gain.
Now, zone coverage, they drop deep, trying not to give up the big plays. Skylar Green on a good corner route. Jamarcus Russell has all day to throw this football. Nobody out there.
Langford's back on the field for the Vandy defense. Pass in the flat. Jacob Hester dropped immediately by Moses Asivagi. their outstanding linebacker. Here's Matt Weiner.
Sean, here's a studio update brought to you by Taco Bell, Cal, and UCLA, and we figure to be busy with this game. Joe Ayuk to Deshaun Jackson, his freshman, 35 yards, already 24-14.
Here it's 9-6 LSU. They led 9-0. Justin Vincent, the lone back, on 2nd and 13. Vincent gets the call and gets wrapped up by Curtis Gatewood, sophomore from Memphis, Tennessee. Gain of 3. It'll be 3rd down and 10.
Curtis Gatewood does a good job of keeping his outside arm free.
Warning, Vanderbilt.
Hey, we're 9-6 here. You got to let us cheer. You got to let us get closer if you're on the sideline. But watch number 48 with the outside arm free, making that play on Justin Vincent.
Because they have a hard time getting bigger athletes, they've taken guys, trying to bulk them up. Gatewood was a linebacker. They've moved to the defensive end. They've taken a number of safeties and made them linebackers here. 3rd down and 10. They blitz this time. Russell forced to dump it off. Vincent will not get there. Gang tackled after a 2-yard gain. Langford They had help from Josh Allen and Hurdley Harrison. 4th down.
You talked about the blitz. They came with a blitz, and they made the play on the outside.
So here's Jackson to punt. You can just feel the energy level in this crowd coming up, Mike. LSU's let Vandy hang around, and now at least the fans are starting to believe. Jackson gets it to go out of bounds. Ooh! Apparently in the end zone, those LSU players down there didn't agree. That was also close to the pylon. They say it's a touchback. Wow, from our vantage point, it looked like it was out of bounds inside the 1, but left of that pylon. Apparently right over it. They had a touchback.
Tonight, the Major League Baseball Division Series continues. St. Louis squeezed their way to a 2-0 lead.
Squeeze butt, got it down, the save again.
Now the Cards are poised for a sweep. Can the Padres hold them off? Cardinals-Padres tonight at 11 on ESPN.
Sunday at 11, preview games from around the league on Sunday NFL Countdown.
Saturn changed the rules of the car industry.
We promised no haggling,
no hassles, and cars that weren't just easy to buy, but to own. Today, our promise still stands.
On every 2006, we promised the safety of OnStar, standard for 1 year.
We promised the best highway gas mileage of any compact V6 SUV.
And on most models, we promised a lowered price.
The Saturn Total Value Promise.
You'll get more without paying more. We promise.
It's not a promotion, it's a promise.
Red 21! Prime rib! Seasoned seared! Slow roasted and Outback!
Try something bold. Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right.
Julie, will you take me to Outback for their new Heart of Gold Bronze filet with sauteed artichokes, sun-dried tomatoes, and a light lemon Alfredo sauce?
Yes, I will.
Try something bold. Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right.
Middle of the 3rd quarter, LSU with a 3-point lead over Vanderbilt. Bobby Johnson's team has won some believers with the 4-1 start. They're starting to win over some more believers as they hang in this football game tonight, despite being statistically outplayed by a bunch. Cutler throws on the run, and it is caught. Acrobatic catch by Eric Davis, the senior from Nashville, covered by Chevis Jackson. 16-yard gain and a first down for Vanderbilt.
Very good throw by Jay Cutler. Good coverage by Chevis Jackson. He goes for the knockdown, and the ball perfectly thrown to Eric Davis.
Davis grew up here in Nashville, was not a Vandy fan. Said the chance to come here and get a great Vanderbilt education, the big reason why he was here. Pass deflected, incomplete. Intended for Marlon White. Eric Davis says he wears that number 2 because he was a David Palmer fan when Palmer was a star at Alabama. Second down and 10. Here's Alex.
Hey, Sean. Well, Coach Bobby Johnson has not been critical at all of Jay Cutler's play. Instead, more of his offense as a whole. At the half, we spoke, and he said that his staff spent much of the half figuring out what they could do to shore up the offense. He said a few things they're going to try: through more 3-step drops, bootlegs, and sprint outs, try and open up the passing game, Sean.
Very limited success with that game plan. Here's Kaysen. Jackson Garrison tripped up by Melvin Oliver. He almost broke it. Kaysen from Knoxville has the hyphenated last name. He was born Kaysen Jackson, never knew his dad. Lived with his mom until the 6th grade. She developed a very serious drug problem. Kaysen Jackson wound up being homeless for nearly 3 years between 6th grade and 9th grade. Wandered the streets of Knoxville, sometimes staying with friends, families, other times just sleeping on the streets. They're his adopted parents, Roger and Darla Garrison. We'll tell you the rest of that story in a moment. Kaysen remains in as the running back on 3rd down and 4. He picks up the blitz. The pass intercepted. Picked off by Chevis Jackson. And Jackson Garrison made the tackle. So suddenly Vanderbilt, just as mistake-prone as LSU. Eric Davis was the intended receiver. 9-yard return of the interception by Jackson.
You can't throw off your back foot and get away with it. Chevis Jackson, watch Jay Cutler just throw off all arm, and Chevis Jackson right there on coverage. Here's Jay Cutler using all arm right here. You can't get away with all arm.
And the early pressure has really ruined his mechanics. Even when he has time, and he was running out of time there, his footwork has been dreadful. Second Vandy turnover. Great field position for LSU. And it's a dive for very little. Just to finish the story on Kaysen Jackson Garrison, finally when he was in the 9th grade after 3 years, as he told us yesterday, Mike, sometimes stealing food just to survive. The government was aware of the situation, put him in a shelter. He was on a church outing. He met that wonderful couple, Roger and Darla Garrison. He's an airline pilot. They took a liking to the young man, formed a friendship. Eventually, they became his foster parents, and the day he visited Vanderbilt, they became legally his parents. He added their last name. A happy ending to a very difficult upbringing. He now has 2 very young little sisters. There's Kaysen, ages 3 and 1. Adai, the ball carrier. Osebegi, the tackler. And what an impressive young man to be through everything that he has been through in his life, and to be the kind of man we spoke with yesterday. I think that moved both of us.
Sean, he got a letter the other day. He was sitting there with this letter. He's so proud of this letter from a single mom that said, "My 2 boys really looked up to you."
3rd and 1. It's a long yard. It's the I formation. A pitch back to Adai. He turns the corner. First down and more. Elected not to run out of bounds and got about 3 additional yards before Josh Allen got him on the ground. Big gain of 12 to convert the 3rd down, and the Tigers are at the 16-yard line.
3 runs in a row for LSU, making it a physical football game with Joseph Adai and that offensive line. Les Miles, a former offensive line guy, likes that physical football.
Staff still getting to know each other, as we mentioned. He had not worked with either coordinator before. But the everybody we talked to said it's working well within the dynamics of the staff. A dive bounced off the hit of Sivigi. It still slid forward for about 4.
Yeah, you get 4 yards. It's hard not to run the football because Vanderbilt has played good defense. They've bending but not breaking, but LSU more physical than Vanderbilt.
Well, those numbers would add to what you've been saying for a long time now. They should get back to running the football when they've done so with great success. The dive up to 92 yards. Whoops, broken play, and Russell down back at the 19-yard line. Curtis Gatewood nearest to him. And Jamarcus turned one way, a dive went the other. And it's a loss of about 7 yards.
A bust again. You talk about concentration and focus. Not been a good night for LSU in those areas.
Well, would you blitz them now? Last third down, you blitz, force the punt.
I don't think I would here. I'd cover. Make him find the throwing seam.
7 men up on the line. They rushed 5. He got it off. Dropped. It was a certain touchdown, and Keith Zinger dropped it. He was wide open, running right down the middle of the field. Russell hit him right in the hands, and Zinger dropped it.
Zinger's wide open. You talk about open.
Oh. So now they have to settle for a field goal try. Jackson's missed 2. This will be a 36-yarder, his shortest attempt of the night. Again out of the hole to Flynn, again to the left hash mark. And this time he splits the middle. They settle for 3. They lead by 6 with 2.5 to go in the third.
A new way out. The thoroughly redesigned 250 horsepower Saturn Vue. Saturn.
Ladies and gentlemen, the main event. Will one of the legends of poker win it all? Or will the streak of unknown continue?
Braver wins it all. This is beyond a fairy tale. It's inconceivable.
Someone will leave Vegas $7.5 million richer and become poker's next legend. But who? The World Series of Poker, presented by Milwaukee's Best Light. The main event begins Tuesday at 8 on ESPN.
More Extra Card buyers are choosing Duplessis Cadillac. Why? Because our cars are turning heads.
The sales team at Duplessis made this purchase exciting and easy. Yes, I'm fast, and I can hold my own, like the XLR from Duplessis Cadillac. How fast? That fast.
With over 100 Cadillacs to choose from, it's easy to find the right vehicle for you. You deserve the best, so buy the best from the best. Break through with a new Cadillac from Duplessis.
Louisiana, we've been tried and tested. With our big hearts in these tough times, we will make it through.
Rise up, let your colors shine true. Celebrate the good things they're all around in this town. Stand up and let your colors shine through. We are Louisiana true.
Problem.
ESPN2's College Football Primetime, brought to you by NBA Live 2006. Their moves, your control. In stores now. And Saturn.
Six-point lead for LSU. They're on the campus of Vanderbilt, the west end of Nashville, Tennessee. We mentioned this is the smallest campus. And relative to LSU, tiny, including the respective stadium sizes. A rough night for the tight ends for LSU. Zinger dropped a certain touchdown pass. Jones had a couple drops in the first half and a fumble that was recovered by Vandy. Jackson, after his field goal, booted it through the end zone. So Vanderbilt begins at the 20, amazingly still within 6 points.
Yeah, Bruce Fowler, the defensive coordinator of Vanderbilt's, got to be proud of his defense, because even after the turnovers they've held LSU out. Now, Jamarcus Russell made an error there and went the wrong way.
Here comes a blitz. They timed it well, and Dunning couldn't hang on. LSU thinks that was intercepted, but it hit the ground. Intended for Dustin Dunning, and he just could not hang on. And that clearly hit the ground. LaRon Landry trying for his second interception of the night.
You talked about the blitz, Sean. He was the receiver that was open, safety off Landry.
And I know you need to give the defenses credit, Mike, but this has in many ways been a dreadful offensive performance on both sides, too. Drop passes, penalties, missed blocks. Jason Jackson Garrison took the attempted screen, went for a couple. Well defended by Jonathan Zenon. He was the only Tiger out there for a bit. Frustration starting to set in with Cutler, but he hasn't been the answer man tonight either.
No, when you talked to him the other day and you said, why'd you stay and not go pro? He said the pros told him he has to do more comeback wins, show that he can win the games against the SEC guys.
And he's done that. They've had late rallies for the wins against Wake Forest and at Arkansas. He marched them 81 yards at the end of last week's game to get them in position for a field goal. There's a completion, but Marlon White's on his knees at the 28, 2 yards short of the first down. So it's going to be another 3 and out for Vanderbilt. Jonathan Zenon had the coverage.
Just a matter of time if you can't convert third downs. And LSU, Bo Pelini, give him credit. He's done a great job of stopping this offense, but it's just a matter of time till either Skylar Green gets you or the running game if LSU is going to get you.
Sixth punt of the night. Onfeld got it off, and a fair catch made by Skylar Green at his own 39-yard line. 33-yard punt, but no return. We look at the Dr. Pepper SEC update. The standings in the East. Georgia in control now with its victory today at Tennessee, the second conference loss for the Vols, and Vanderbilt trying to stay in that first place tie.
That's why this game's so big for Vanderbilt.
And for LSU, already with one loss to Tennessee. Trying to stay in contact with Alabama and Auburn. Two tight ends. Following Mike Gottfried's advice, it's the run. That time well defended by Kevin Joyce, the outside linebacker. Boy, do his parents have a dilemma on every football Saturday this fall. Joyce has 3 brothers who are also playing college football this year. Ryan's 23 years old. He's a senior fullback at Furman. Kyle, 22, a senior safety at the University of the South in Tennessee. And 19-year-old Daniel's a freshman safety at Emory and Henry. So the parents divide up. They never go to the games together. They try to make sure at least one of them is at one of the games. Sometime they can get to 2 if they're close geographically.
I hope they're here tonight because Kevin Joyce has played well.
Russell on second down. Got it through some traffic. Early Doucette breaks tackles. He can fly. Ohanija shoved him out of bounds. at the 27-yard line. 35 yards, most of it after the catch by Early Doucette. And that'll be the final play of the third quarter. LSU looking for breathing room, still leading by only 6 with 15 minutes to go in Nashville.
The Major League Baseball Division Series continues tonight at 11 on ESPN.
People have been waiting for this game for a long time. In fact, the fans are already out in force. The marching band is here as well. Coming up on the campus kickoff pregame show.
Football. Are you in good hands?
Get a Wendy's Junior Cheeseburger Deluxe with the cool, crisp toppings of your choice for just 99 cents every day. If you're eating somewhere else, you might as well eat your dollar. Tender, juicy, hot off the grill. Great food for a great price. The 99-cent Wendy's Junior Cheeseburger Deluxe. Do Wendy's, and for just 99 cents, do what tastes right.
These gardens have the most exquisite Venus flights. Oh, he likes you.
Go where you want with drive-free at Avis.
Did you know the skies are at 16,000 pounds of water pressure? 16,500, son!
Now rent 3 times and get a free weekend on us. Find our lowest prices at avis.com.
So tell me, is it true you do more brakes than anyone?
Yes, we do almost 2 million brake jobs a year.
And you guarantee all your work?
Absolutely. Is something burning?
Oh, those are Fred's old brakes. Very funny.
Come to the experts in brakes and maintenance, the Midas Touch Maintenance Package. An oil change, tire rotation, and multi-point courtesy check, including brake check, for just $29.95. For mechanics known for their work and their word.
Trust the Midas Touch.
SOCOM 3, rated M for mature.
Welcome back to Nashville for the fourth quarter. LSU in a tussle with Vanderbilt. Been ugly. Both sides mistake-prone tonight. Vanderbilt still with just 82 pass yards for the game. Though within striking distance. You have a feeling, though, even a field goal in this possession by LSU could be fatal to Vanderbilt with their struggle to move the ball. Vincent, the ball carrier. Andrew Pace, the tackler. A gain of a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 9. Sean McDonough with Mike Gottfried, Alex Flanagan. Our producer, Josh Hoffman. Our director, John Storm McDonough. And our ESPN2 crew. Bobby Johnson looking for a signature win. 2 wins in each of his first 3 years. 4 already this year. Most they've won in this decade. Good looking play. Joseph Adai cuts inside. Cuts into the end zone. Late flag down. Thrown where Early Doucette was blocking near the 18-yard line. And if you're making a list of mistakes, you're running out of room to record them.
Illegal block in the back. Number 82, offense, 10-yard penalty.
Wow.
Spot of the foul. Still 2nd down.
Thrown near Doucette, but it was actually David Jones who was called for it. They're both at the same part of the field there, and that was clearly a block in the back.
Joseph Adai, good receiver out of the backfield. They scored a touchdown against Florida, I believe it was 2 years ago in that same play. Joseph Adai has good hands, can catch the ball.
First penalty of the second half against LSU. 2nd and 9. Quick throw by Russell. Incomplete pass. Pass interference. He was looking for Doucette and paced just a bit too early, delivering that blow to the back of early Doucette.
Pass interference. Defense number 36. Ball's placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
This game is going to be won, it seems like, by the team that makes the fewest egregious errors.
That's true. Early Doucette on a quick slant. Andrew Pace, who's been very impressed with for movements from safety to corner, has played well tonight.
He said it wasn't that much of an adjustment. He played more man-to-man against wide receivers than running backs and tight ends. There's a dive through the middle to the 16-yard line. Jonathan Goff, the linebacker, made the tackle. He got his first career start last year at LSU, and he said that was an amazing, eye-opening experience. Adrenaline pumping with 91,000 people in the stands. He's from Lynn, Massachusetts, played in a terrific high school program at St. John's of Danvers, Mass., just north of Boston. He's in the men's chorus at St. John's, traveled to Europe to sing. Adai showing his power, battling for the extra yard through the tackle of Kevin Joyce. It'll bring up another important 3rd down. They're in field goal range now. Third down and 4. Even a field goal by Jackson would seem to be enormous at this juncture, but you know they'd like more. Tight formation, 2 tight ends. Play action pass, thrown in the flat to the fullback. Jacob Hester out of bounds at the 2. 11-yard gain. Well conceived, well executed play.
A big play call by Jimbo Fisher, because you got the fullback. The linebacker's got to worry about the run now. He's got to worry about whether Joseph Adai is going to get that ball. All of a sudden, Hester rolls out in the flat. A very good call.
Hester more and more an important factor in this offense, according to Coach Fisher. Adai breaks a tackle, touchdown. Ran through the arms of a tired Andrew Pace. A 2-yard run for Joseph Adai. His 5th rushing touchdown of the year. And LSU has its largest lead now, 12 points, with 12:33 to go.
Good job calling plays there. Jimbo Fisher with good balance. They overcame the penalty.
They're going to go for 2, which makes sense. Probably not enough time for Vanderbilt to get a touchdown, extra point, and 2 field goals. They're likely to score 2 touchdowns. So you'd like to be ahead by 14 points if you can. And they get the 2. Great throw on the run by Russell into traffic and caught by early Doucette. The touchdown run got a die to an even 100 yards rushing for the night on 23 carries. And a little breathing room now for Les Miles and the Tigers, leading by 14 with 12.5 to go.
So does a burger have to be made of beef to be called a burger? Not in our book. Ruby Tuesday's Hickory Chicken Burger. One of 36 famous burgers only at Ruby Tuesday. So good, it's guaranteed.
Tell me you didn't invite him.
Great taste, great times.
BASF, we don't make the sandboard, we make it lighter. We don't make a lot of the products you buy, we make a lot of the products you buy better. BASF, the chemical company.
LSU now leads by 2 touchdowns, 12.5 to go as we take a look at the Sonic scoring drive. Capped by Joseph Adai's 2-yard run. They went 61 yards in 8 plays, 3:18 off the clock. Chance to breathe a little bit easier. One of the few times tonight. They got ahead 9-0. It looked like it'd be a cakewalk. But mistake after mistake helped keep Vandy in the game. Lately, Vandy's been returning the favor with its own mistakes.
Well, we're going to see if Jay Cutler can respond.
Chris Jackson to kick off. Earl Bennett and Kaysen Jackson Garrison back deep. Comes down to Jackson Garrison. He's in trouble and spun down near the 15-yard line. Jeffrey Jack. This is the anniversary of one of the memorable games in LSU history. 1988, the famed earthquake game. Tommy Hodson to Eddie Fuller. Under 2 minutes to go. The only touchdown for LSU as they beat number 4 Auburn 7-6. The crowd reaction so tremendous it registered on the seismograph in Baton Rouge. The earthquake game.
And about the encyclopedia.
To find out more about the earthquake game, as Cutler launches one deep, looking for Bennett. Batted down. Well played by Ronnie Prude. Grab a copy of the ESPN College Football Encyclopedia. They have more about that game, just about everything you'd ever want to know about college football is in that book.
And probably Ronnie Prude's name's going to be in there because he's getting better as a corner. He made a good play on Earl Bennett. He's getting to be a lockdown corner for LSU.
Cutler in trouble, had to get rid of it. They're trying to set up a screen, but Tyson Jackson, a reserve defensive lineman, right in Cutler's face. Geez, I can't believe they're in my face again. Here's Matt Weiner.
John, UCLA and Cal have just emerged from the locker room after a well-deserved halftime break as they have been lighting up the scoreboard. Maurice Jones-Drew before the half. He's up to 135 total yards. And it's 27-21. In Happy Valley, Penn State up a touchdown, third quarter, 5 minutes left.
There are some who are not believers in Penn State at 5-0. They'll have plenty of folks jumping on the bandwagon if they can win that one tonight. Third down and 10. Looked like LSU was offside, perhaps a free play. And Ronnie Prude broke it up, intended for Bennett. And late flags thrown to the secondary as well.
Going to call Ronnie Prude, I think, for interference, Sean.
And I believe they were offside.
Two fouls on the defense. Offside, number 94. That penalty will be declined. Pass interference, defense, number 8. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
They move the ball out to the 30. Was the previous spot the 20-yard line? Was the 15, so they did walk it off. 15 yards. 12:02 to go. Cutler throws on the run, looking for Stephen Bright, the fullback, flag down. He made the catch. And if the penalty's on the defense, that's a big gain to the 40-yard line of LSU. Bright, a talented player, was the backup quarterback last year. They moved him to fullback this season, but he's been injured. and hasn't seen much playing time. He hurt his knee late in their win at Arkansas.
Pass
and it's been out ever
interference.
since.
Defense number 30. Penalty is declined. Rolling on the field is catch and out of bounds. First down.
LaRon Landry guilty of the pass interference.
A good play call by Ted Kane. They got Stephen Bright on an out and up. He's going to run an out. And then up the field, Jay Cutler buys some time, throws that ball up. Ron Landry on coverage.
And a good call. Landry had his hands all over Bright before the ball got there. Cutler wants to run and trips as he tried to make a move. He gained about 3 of the chance for more. Jesse Daniels was closing in. And Cutler lost his footing.
That's what he does best, though. Sean, he can run with the football. He's run some option plays.
I thought you were going to say that's what he does best. He falls down.
No, no.
Coming up next, as you saw, men's soccer World Cup qualifying action, the USA and Costa Rica. Who do you like in that one, Mike?
Costa Rica? Who are they playing?
The USA.
Oh, I like the USA.
Anti-American. Cutler swung down by Kyle Williams after a short gain. Williams, for one, hasn't been very happy about all the criticism directed at the coaching staff, and I would have to agree with him. I think it's ridiculous to criticize any coaching staff after 3 games.
Yeah, Kyle Williams is one of those players, plays hard every play. He believes in this coaching staff. Nick Saban left a bunch of talent in Baton Rouge.
You know, it's not like these guys, the new coaches, don't have a track record.
No.
Bo Pelini, 2 years ago, coached one of the best defenses in the country in Nebraska. Led the nation in takeaways. He was at Oklahoma last year. He spent time in the NFL. Les Miles, where they had 1 winning season since 1988 and 3 winning seasons in a row. That ball's caught by Marlon Waite. Incomplete now, says the umpire. The LSU players were gesturing. He didn't catch it. And finally the officials agreed. Ruled incomplete. It would have been good for a first down.
Jay Cutler with the delivery. Can't tell.
No, it was on the leg of White. It was a little bit behind him. Zenon wouldn't let him corral it. I think that's a good call. He never had possession of the ball. 4th down, and they have to go for it. 4th and 6. Single coverage to Cutler's left. A blitz. He had to get rid of it, and it's incomplete. And it's been that kind of a night for Bobby Johnson. They just haven't been able to deal with the rush of LSU all night long, and now these linemen are just whipping.
Yeah, they haven't been able to block the blitz. Craig Stelz, number 16, comes in. You just have no chance on that play.
So frustrating for Bobby Johnson. We acknowledge to us these games on national TV are very important. They don't get on national TV very often with their struggles in recent years. He's trying to convince recruits they're turning the corner, they're better, and clearly they are better. I don't think anybody would argue that. Certainly the other coaches in the league have already acknowledged that. Here's a dive. I think Bobby Johnson made an interesting point when we spoke with him yesterday. You know, the hardest part is convincing the young man to go home and tell other people he's coming to Vanderbilt. So there's so much peer pressure, and they have a lot of very talented football players who he thinks want to come. They can't just pull the trigger to say, I'm going to go to Vanderbilt. They're afraid their friends will say, what, are you crazy? They never win anything at Vanderbilt.
Well, they've been down for so long. They have to keep recruiting. I like what they did last year. They gave him an extension, and it's going to take a while because all of a sudden you get a coach in for 5 years, and you fire that coach, and you got to start all over again.
Well, they had 5 head coaches in 17 years before him. Continually rolling over the coach did not help. Early Doucette the catch for a first down. And they had some good coaches in that time. Watson Brown's gone on to UAB. He's had success there and continues to have success. Jerry DiNardo, as we know, went on to LSU. Had a good run there for a while. This is a tough job.
Yeah, it
Very
is.
high academic standards, very little football history.
Yeah, George McIntyre back in the 80s won and went to a bowl game, did a good job. Bill Pace, some old-time guys there that did well.
82 the last time they went to a bowl game. Good catch, good throw. Pete Zinger held on to that one. And you get the sense that the fight might be going out of the Commodores now. And there has to be fatigue on this defense that has been on the field for most of the night. 17 yards on the gain. The pass to Zinger. 8:47 to go. Number 11 LSU looking for its third win of the year. Sean McDonough, Mike Gottfried, Alex Flanagan, soccer next. LSU led 9-0. Vandy got within 9-6. With a lot of help from the Tigers, who played a very sloppy game. It's looking more and more like they will survive the self-inflicted wounds. Here's Justin Vincent slicing through a hole. See again, more arm tackles. The fatiguing defense. Andrew Pace finally made the tackle. 12 yards on the game.
I'm going to go back to that soccer game. Let's go USA tonight. Now, I know we're not allowed to cheer, right?
I think, you're a Patriot.
USA,
Despite your prediction that Costa Rica would win.
I didn't hear you said they were playing. I want to say a congratulations to Mac Brown, too. Maybe all these guys that have been beating up him all these years for not being able to beat Oklahoma, to find something new.
Yeah. Winning 10 and 11 games every year wasn't good enough.
No.
Well, congratulations. Texas won the Red River Shootout today. LSU starting to pull away here in Nashville.
Revolution, get down. Revolution, get down. Revolution, get down. Don't treat me like I was born for nothing, 99. Ain't no number. All of nothing, get down. All of nothing, get down. All of nothing.
Sunday, the NFL is running all day long with highlights, analysis, and the latest news. At 11, Sunday NFL Countdown. Then at 8:30, Sunday Night Football. The Bengals take on...
Still waiting.
Still trying to download this song.
Little advice from the digital guy.
Bring it on, Digital Max.
Ditch the dial-up and speed it up with Cox high-speed internet. Just like this.
Experience the internet with up to 5 beautiful megs of speed you can only get from Cox.
That is fast, and that is beautiful.
It's easy when you have a friend in the digital age.
Turn it up. Live bands, hot music, good friends, great times. Happy hours, large, flat screen TVs. Absolutely the best karaoke on the planet. Park Place.
ESPN2's College Football Primetime. Brought to you by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper, one taste and you get it. And Nissan, who reminds you to shift the way you move through the world.
Great music in this city along Music Row, developed in the 1950s, Center for the Recording Industry. This is one of the great music cities in the world, Nashville, Tennessee. Justin Vincent, wrapped up by Andrew Pace. And the clock runs under 8.5 minutes to go. LSU with a 20-6 lead. And it won't get much easier for Vanderbilt next week. They have the Georgia Bulldogs undefeated off their big win today at Tennessee coming into Vanderbilt Stadium.
And that was a big win for Georgia to go in there and beat Tennessee.
As one of us predicted last week. Justin Vincent, the tailback. He gets the toss. Follows the fullback Hester and then cut it outside. And Hanaja knocked him out of bounds. Inside the 10, they're going to spot the ball at the 8-yard line. Coming up 3rd down and 5.
Justin Vincent on this play, if he stays inside here, I think he gets more yardage. Broke it outside. He had blockers inside. Not a good read.
Here's a guy who was a huge part of their national championship in '03. Rushed for over 1,000 yards. And was a bit player last year as Broussard took over the featured running back spot. And there's a touchdown. Russell with a beautifully thrown ball to early Doucette for the touchdown of 8 yards. Early Doucette likes this ESPN2 college football primetime slot. This other touchdown reception this year was before our cameras. That huge game-winning touchdown at Arizona State.
Big.
Colt David with the extra point. And finally, LSU has pulled away. Looked like they would do it early, couldn't because of the problem. Now they're up by 3 touchdowns midway through the 4th quarter.
This week on Sunday NFL Countdown, how bleak is the picture in New England? And can Brett turn things around for the Pack?
He's ready to be a championship quarterback, and he can do it for a few more years. Let's be clear.
Plus, find out what's got the skin singing. Hail to the Redskins. Hail Joey G. Sunday NFL Countdown, presented by Old Spice Red Zone, 11 a.m. on ESPN.
Fall in love with the rich, bold flavor of Dr. Pepper. One taste, and you get it.
Coming up next from Saprissa Stadium in Costa Rica, it's Costa Rica trying to qualify for the 2006 FIFA World Cup. And the United States on the road trying to round out their roster. Already have qualified. It's FIFA World Cup qualifying.
Plenty of purple-clad LSU fans here in Nashville tonight. It's some anxious moments. Their team continued to make mistake after mistake. Smiles now for the Tiger faithful with the 21-point lead. After the touchdown pass, Jamarcus Russell certainly looks even more confident than we saw him in the opener. To early Doucette. Jackson's kickoff comes down to Earl Bennett, freshman from Birmingham, Alabama. Bounces off a couple of hits. Flag down. And the kicker, Chris Jackson, had to make the tackle. Looked like they'd get Bennett near the 12-yard line. Might have had some illegal assistance.
Face mask on the defense. 5-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down.
No, we do not. It was against LSU. Early Doucette. It was the first game of the year. It might have been the biggest play of the year in the entire year in the final analysis when they look back at it. Down by 3, a little over a minute to go in the 4th quarter. Tigers 4th and 10 from the 39. Jamarcus Russell, the brilliant play, and Doucette, the reception that capped a 91-yard drive. LSU won the football game. Jeff Jennings, the ball carrier. He gets nothing, and here's Matt Weiner.
Sean, we got a shootout brewing at UCLA. Cal punting to Maurice Jones-Drew, and he'll go 81 yards. One of the most dangerous open field players in the country. Third punt return for a touchdown this season. His Bruins up by 1, so plenty of time in Cal.
Good skill players at UCLA. I had him last year in the Vegas Bowl.
Now, you always get that assignment. Does that mean I get to go with you this year?
Yes.
Tim Washington, a backup defensive end, with the 5th sack of the night. He's a freshman from Sugar Land, Texas.
LSU plays a lot of defensive linemen to keep guys fresh. They have so many good players in the front four. 6'3", 265, Tim Washington.
Three wide receivers. And Cason Jackson Garrison, the lone back. Cutler forced to step up. He throws on the run, looking deep. And over the head of Marlon White. He was behind the defense. Boy, then he got stepped on after he hit the dirt. And Cutler's hurt. And holding his head, his helmet's off. And you wonder, Mike, 6 minutes to go, you're down by 3 scores. Parents upset, as you can easily understand. Did you think about getting him out of this game?
Yeah. Chris Nixon, redshirt freshman quarterback, looked good to me in practice. You bring him in.
Oh, boy. And that was more than a little late, and the helmet right up underneath the helmet of Cutler. And he is going to come off the field.
Talked about him last week on that last drive. He had a dislocated finger, put it back in himself, and stayed on the field. Tough guy.
He appears to be all right. That's really kind of a vicious hit, and really unnecessary, too. Leading with your helmet like that right up under the chin after the ball's long gone. Mike mentioned the running ability of Nixon. Looks like Cutler's going to come back in. I'm not sure his parents are all that happy about it. A couple of plays last week, they put Nixon at quarterback, put Cutler out as a wide receiver.
Chris Nixon's
started to come on the field. Yeah, no, it looks like Nixon's going to stay. I don't think Jack and Sandy want Jay to go back in. Jack is a Indiana State trooper. He was a running back out of high school, All-State. Went to Indiana State for 1 year. He said, college was not for me. I wanted it to be different for Jay, and it has been. He'll finish. He's taking just 1 class this semester in mass media to graduate from Vanderbilt as a 5th-year senior. Jay's dad, Jack, now works as a detective in a casino in Indiana. They worked together in a concrete business. Jack had a concrete pouring business on the side, and it's one of the reasons why Jay turned out to be as well put together as he is. A lot of heavy lifting in that activity.
Yeah, and Jay Cutler, a lot of pro scouts here tonight to watch him play against a very good LSU defense.
Soccer up next. Mike will be cheering for Costa Rica.
No.
That's,
No. I said USA.
There's Nixon showing that running ability. And a flag down near the line of scrimmage. Mario Stevenson, the only LSU player from the state of Tennessee, from Memphis, back in his home state, made the tackle. $14-yard gain wiped out.
Holding, offense, number 82, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, 2nd down.
Marlon White
many penalties have we had tonight?
A lot. Against LSU, 12 penalties for 113 yards. That'll be the 5th penalty against Vanderbilt.
Officials have been busy.
And there have been a number that have been turned down as well. Those are the only the ones that have been accepted. Nixon's a freshman from Brundage, Alabama, Pike County High School, where as a senior he accounted for a state record 67 touchdowns. Threw for 42 of them. And look out, he's sacked. Ali Highsmith with the ball out. Highsmith picks it up. Touchdown. "22-yard run with the fumble recovery. And all of a sudden the route is on. Folks will see this score around the country in the paper tomorrow, and I realize that LSU, largely through its own mistakes, was in for a real tussle well into the 4th quarter tonight.
Yeah, they haven't blocked the blitz. Ali Highsmith just came through the center guard gap, not blocked.
He's the cousin of Alonzo Highsmith, a former University of Miami standout who had a 7-year NFL career. He originally signed with Miami in 2003, but did not enroll in Coral Gables.
Shows you a good athlete. Oh, he's down. Now he's up. Now he's gone.
And it's 34-6. The LSU defense has now scored 12 touchdowns since the start of the 2003 season. That's their 2nd this year.
When they talked about in spring practice with Bo Pelini, they wanted to cause more turnovers.
And all those folks who've been all over that guy's case, get a life. He has already established himself as one of the best defensive coordinators in the country. You're very fortunate to have him. Certainly Nick Saban was a legend and a defensive guru, but this guy's not too shabby either.
No, and it takes time to work with your players when you're new coaching staff and you have to build that relationship, find out what everybody can do under fire.
You know, they come into the situation, a new staff. They open on the road when they weren't supposed to against Arizona State, one of the best passing teams in the country. These coaches have had to deal with all that they've been through, their families have been through, everybody in Louisiana has been through, their players trying to manage practice time, be sensitive to everything that's gone on in the state of Louisiana. And to get vilified as they have been by some in the media and some fans down there as they have, shame on those people who have been doing those things.
And Sean, when you look at this crowd tonight, Louisiana, all the things that the people have been through, they have a tremendous crowd here tonight. Here's the defense, starting with Chase Pittman, the pressure on Jay Cutler to get him to throw those footballs away. Interception by LaRon Landry. Oh, then the hit by Washington.
Cutler will keep the headset on. And Nixon will lead the offense again. Jason Jackson Garrison tried to turn the corner and could not. Jason Spadoni, who was a starting linebacker at the start of the year, he lost that job to Highsmith. He was in on the tackle.
Number 97, defense, 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
Brandon Washington, another reserve defensive lineman, guilty of the penalty.
And Sean, you talked about all LSU's been through, and these fans, again, Louisiana, that area was hit so hard. I'm so impressed with how many people they brought here tonight, fan-wise. Would you say
tremendously vocal fans, tremendously loyal, passionate fans, but unfortunately they have a fan base that sometimes earns a reputation for crossing the line. When Tennessee was there this year, some of their buses were damaged on their way out of the stadium. LSU had to apologize for that. And I just think the volume of the criticism directed at this coaching staff this quickly in light of everything that's gone on. You know, and I don't think either one of us thinks that Les Miles has done everything right. And you could quibble with some of the individual tactics perhaps of the defense, but you know, against the larger picture, I just can't believe some of what we've read and heard.
And a young quarterback that's maturing every game.
Jeff Jennings, the ball carrier. Tim Washington made the tackle.
On the other side, you got Bobby Johnson trying to get to a bowl game. Has 4 wins in the bank, needs 2 more. Got Georgia coming in next week.
When we reflect back on history, we mentioned at the top of the telecast the last time they were 4-1 was in 1984. They had some impressive wins at the start of that year at Maryland, at Alabama. They were coming off a 2-9 season then, just as they are this year. Then they lost to Tulane, which was not a very good football team, and finished 5-6. That turned out to be year 2 of what is now 22 consecutive losing seasons. And it's not going to be easy to get to that 6-win mark. You wonder if they're going to look back at last week's game when they statistically outplayed Middle Tennessee State by a comfortable margin. Last week, the problem was drop passes all over the place.
Well, if you look at that schedule, I don't know who the 2 wins are. Now, you figure Kentucky. They probably will be favored over Kentucky, but by the time they get to South Carolina, which is the other game, Steve Spurrier is going to get that team better every week.
Oh, yeah, they walloped Kentucky today. I think, as you said, the game here against Kentucky will be the only remaining game that Bobby Johnson and Vanderbilt will be favored in. Timeout LSU with 2.5 to go.
Need new tires? Get to the big Bridgestone rebate event for up to a $100 mail-in rebate on select Bridgestone Dueler tires, September 15th through October 15th, only at your local participating Bridgestone and Firestone retailer, wherever you see this Bridgestone sign.
Coming up next from Saprissa Stadium in Costa Rica, it's Costa Rica trying to qualify for the 2006 FIFA World Cup. And the United States on the road trying to round out their roster. Already have qualified. It's FIFA World Cup qualifying.
.22 unanswered points in the 4th quarter. Turning a tight game into a laugher now with 2.5 to go. Bryant Honfeld will punt on 4th and 10. He's done an excellent job tonight kicking it away from Skylar Green. And that one went out just short of the pylon. I think they're going to mark it near the 1-yard line. Yes, they will. They'll put it down at the 1. 55-yard punt. And Matt Flynn, the backup quarterback, is going to come in. Sophomore from Tyler, Texas. There was an open competition in the preseason to see who would be the starting quarterback. As a matter of fact, even the night before the Arizona State game, the opener, when we visited with the Tigers at their hotel in Tempe, they were tight-lipped about who the quarterback would be.
And Matt Flynn is 2 out of 4 for 25 yards, but they also got a great freshman, Brian Perlew.
He has yet to see any action. True freshman, Perilou from reserve Louisiana. Stephen Court, the fullback, the ball carrier. And I'm sure that's a surprise to Ryan, because back when he signed with LSU, he said, not only will I be the starting quarterback, but I'm going to win the Heisman Trophy.
Well, you can't win it on the sideline, but he's been very patient. He said Jamarcus Russell is really kind of taking me under his wing. I think he's going to redshirt. Now, as the later it gets in the year, now, unless there's an injury, I think he's assured of being a redshirt.
And that would make sense. Russell is clearly settled in as a quality starting quarterback. And Flynn's a capable backup. Court carries next. For those of you with very short memories, soccer comes your way next. USA and Costa Rica, right here on ESPN2. Mike has waffled, but now thinks he likes the USA's chances tonight.
Are we favored? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. .21 for 32 tonight for Jamarcus Russell, and 285 yards passing, 2 touchdowns and interception. 3rd down and 5. And they hand it off again to Court. Considered the top fullback prospect in the state of Louisiana last year. His dad was an All-American offensive lineman at Arkansas, played for the New Orleans Saints, also named Steve. Illegal procedure.
Sean, LSU gets Auburn at home.
Illegal formation. Offense. Not enough players on the line of scrimmage. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
And have to go to Alabama now. This is a pretty solid football team right here.
And they'll be 3-1, heading to a streak now of 4 straight home games. 2 toughies against Florida and Auburn, then the rescheduled game against North Texas. That was supposed to be their season opener. Appalachian State at Alabama, at Ole Miss, and home for Arkansas. The punt on 4th and 1. Jackson standing in the end zone.
Still 4th down.
We'll add one more penalty to their ledger tonight. Couldn't you just snap that with 1 second to go and kick it? Yeah, I changed my mind. Rip these coaches. Get on those chat rooms and message boards and we'll rip them to pieces. Clearly, this is a heinous act of coaching. Jackson with a good punt. Fielded by Bennett, 45 yards and no return. So Vandy will go to 4-2 with Georgia coming to town next Saturday.
And Bobby Johnson's going to really have to work to get Jay Cutler back. I'm sure, you have games where just things don't go right, and they didn't go right from the start.
Well, they couldn't block the blitz. It really seemed to throw Cutler off. Even on the rare occasions we had a little time, he never did seem settled. Cason Jackson Garrison, a little stat padding here at the end. He gets swung down out of bounds by Mario Stevenson, and that's it. It was scary for a while for Les Miles and the Tigers, but they prevail in the end. The final score, LSU 34 and Vanderbilt 6. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more on this game, we'll be on ESPN News in just a moment. To wrap it up, you can stay with ESPN2 for soccer, USA and Costa Rica. Now for Mike Gottfried and Alex Flanagan, Sean McDonough saying good night from Nashville, Tennessee.